highest working team in baseball, your Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
Do me a favor before you call him. Pick up that box, will you, Norm? Put it right in through there. There you go. Keep on. Yep, I think we're good.
It's got a protection.
Yeah, I don't want to have to buy a new one of these.
I was at the phone line, wasn't even turned on yet, so. Hey, Gavin, it's Norm. How you doing? Doing quite well. It's last home game of the year already. Went by in a freaking hurry, and Jamestown's in danger of not making the playoffs. But right. Well, I also got Jason here with me as always.
Hey, Gavin, did you see my note? Okay, so no need to play that. I was going to tell you, Norman, he's not going to do the rejoiner after the two segments of Meet the Skunks because they run kind of long.
All right.
Yep. How's it sound? Pretty good? Excellente. Just a regular start at 6:25 or whenever you send it to us. All right, thanks, Gav. All right, we'll check in with a bit. Bye-bye.
Yeah, there is an anthem singer as well. I've already got his name, so we're good.
I've got some ideas for next year on how to get the feed. So we'll talk about that.
Live radio feed? That might be the only way, really, because if we pull a feed off the internet stream, it's going to be about 4 seconds delayed.
Can you hear this radio here?
Oh, yeah.
Through your headphones, right?
Yeah, but it's a phone line signal that comes in.
Oh, so the
You'd be
quality's
better.
not real good.
Yeah, not the greatest.
Yeah. Is there a delay?
Nope. Straight up over the air. What you see on the video is what you would hear on the radio. And the commercials sound better because it's in stereo, right? Yeah. So I would say we get the signal loud and clear here. I've always listened to it. It's just a matter of getting a receiver that doesn't have an antenna that might get kicked around and cause the interference signal.
All we really need is radio with a headphone jack.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly.
I can go 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch.
They actually have a radio over here. I don't know if it still works, but I mean, yeah. You guys aren't on here, right? But anyway, we've all got radio.
Yeah.
Men of a certain age still have radios around. I forget that people under 30 don't know what the hell you doing with that thing. I'm going to set the short thing, but sorry.
Radio?
Headphone jack.
Thanks.
A radio with a headphone jack.
Yeah. Because I was talking with Anthony Merchant about it.
Yes.
How am I supposed to burn cassette tapes because he wants to do an audio project where bands, whenever they give him any audio, put it in our archives. Cool idea. And I go, if somebody goes, what do I do when they give me a cassette tape? And so you just connect the output of the cassette player. Well, where do I find a cassette player? I thought about it. I go, we don't have one here at the station, but I got one at home.
I have one in my car.
You do have a cassette player in your car?
Yeah.
What year's your car?
2002 Lexus.
Nice.
What is it?
2002 Lexus.
Lexus.
Yeah.
I think my current car's got one.
How many miles?
03 Saturn.
Now, like 170.
Does it run good?
Yeah.
Do you use the cassette player?
You can always get a cassette player that has the plug-in adapter attached to it and plug it into your phone.
It probably has a CD player too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Probably
Oh, mine does.
combo unit.
But it is a piece of crap, so I crank up my Bluetooth speaker, volume on my phone, jam like that, and my phone mount's magnetic, so I can, as long as I got the adhesive on the case, stick it on. As we hear this playlist again.
Yeah, that's the thing about painting is I got so tired of hearing all my CDs over and over again that I eventually reached into my cassette stash, and I said, Joe and I still have cassette tapes.
I've got some.
And David Bowie. I think Joe has a bunch of punk bands from the 80s. She was more
Oh, like
punk.
the
She's more
Clash,
more punk than me.
Dead Kennedys.
Liebach, Dead Kennedys.
Bad Religion.
Yeah, I think she did have a Bad Religion in there. The Cult, although they're more rock than punk.
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, the Cult. Fire. That would be a good top of the ninth inning song. 7 o'clock start.
Jess, are you keeping stats too?
Keeping the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent, thanks. Here's the season stats that are up to date.
All right.
Roster, if we need any of that.
It said 7 o'clock start?
Yes, the PA guy just announced it.
Oh, we're not starting till 7?
7 o'clock.
Oh, I didn't tell Gavin that. He's going to throw us on the air otherwise.
Yeah, just came out.
No.
You guys saw Jordan 7?
Yep.
Just wanted to.
Yeah, I already don't know. Because right when I heard it, so we're golden.
Well, then I'll back off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no.
I didn't tell him.
7 o'clock start.
I'm going to have him send it to me really quickly and I'll just make the announcement. Because we don't have a microphone in the studio, so we can't make the announcement at the radio station. Hey, they just announced that it's going to be a 7 o'clock start. So, is that going to interfere with your scheduling at all? Well, in that case, then, how about if you just send it to me at 6:30 really quickly? Don't even play an announcer or anything. Just turn up the box, and I'll just make a quick announcement live from the press box, and we'll rejoin at 7. Yeah, I'll listen for the pause in E-Town, and then I'll count to probably like 2. No one had too much dead air, but I'll give at least a 2-second long count, and then I'll start talking. And then just play that. Yep. All right, thanks. Yeah, 6:30 is fine. All right, thanks. Bye. Another big system. Well, a the only way all of us can play is, you know, we have to have it at a certain level. We're like, well, all right, rock fans will be rock fans. Oh, I better jump on here. It's gonna be. He's gonna stop the broadcast here in a second, just so I can make an announcement. Gotta hear something? Oh, all right. Hello, everybody. This is WRFA General Manager Jason Sample, broadcasting live from the press box at Dietrich Park in Jamestown, New York, for tonight's Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball game, taking on the Batavia Muckdogs. A little bit of rain here in Jamestown. As a result, we have a delay for the start of our broadcast. Our broadcast will now begin at 7 o'clock. Again, the game begins at 7 o'clock. The broadcast begins at 7 o'clock. Norm Rodriguez and myself, along with Jess Beeler, will be bringing you play-by-play action. But again, currently we're under a slight delay. No more rain coming down, but they want the field to dry out and to prepare it. So we will begin at 7 o'clock. We will talk with you then. In the meantime, we will take it back to the station for our program already in progress.
downstairs.
That's my mom. That's my dad.
Hi, I'm Norm. I do the play-by-play.
Oh yeah, Norm. You sound familiar.
Yeah.
You do a good job.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
You do a good job.
I'm Jessica's dad. She'll be batting third, playing center field tonight. No.
Look at me. I can be center field, John Fogarty.
She is a good center fielder. She'll tell you she hates softball, but she's really good at it.
Her look is just don't flatter yourself, man. Just don't flatter yourself.
No, it's not me. It's her.
Yeah, usually Max is here doing the games with me, but
Yeah.
he's not here. It's gonna be Jason and I tonight. We were supposed to have another guy named Colin Wood coming, but he couldn't get off his shift at work. So,
So they just got stuck in waiting.
You got
oh,
Jessica.
Jess just does the stats, the in between
She
reads.
doesn't like to talk.
Well, there's a few times where it's like, I'm gonna reel you in for a second here.
There you go. Make her do it.
If it's not suggesting, then my name's not Snagglepuss.
Exit stage left.
Exit stage right. 1,000 pardons. 2,000 if you will.
We didn't know who Snagglepuss was until we saw the Hanna-Barbera traveling show at the Norman Rockwell Museum in Stockbridge, Massachusetts a few years ago.
Wow.
It was super cool.
Well, I used to watch Lap Olympics and the Wacky Races.
Yeah. So you have that.
There's a player for Skunks right now named Yogi, but with an E at the end of it. Smarter than the average face stealer.
Yeah,
I've thrown that in several times.
I like it.
It's the best view in the house right here.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I was in here for something one time.
Babe Ruth?
After I was in Cub Scouts. And I'm trying to think the Expos had a pretty solid player. Might have been Gary Carter.
Well, he didn't begin his career in Montreal.
It might have been Gary Carter was here or just here. A lot of guys who, and it was the Red Sox organization for a long time, and a lot of guys that, I don't know how much of a baseball historian fan you are, but like Cecil Cooper,
Oh yeah, I know that name mainly with the
Dwight
Brewers.
Evans.
Yeah.
Dwight Evans, he was known to have the greatest arm in baseball at one time, and he played
Yeah.
here.
The guy that had the stolen base for the Red Sox against the Yankees in the playoffs, Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
John Carl Stanton, the big unit.
Yeah, I see those guys. I mean, I saw the Hall of Fame. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
current
this
Giants
one-
manager Gabe Kapler.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Cecil Cooper though, Super Cooper. But he was mainly his best years were as a Brewer though, not
Yeah.
Red Sox.
No, he had that Charlie Lau batting stance like George Brett. With the bat back,
Yeah.
the 1 foot forward, just like George Brett. Well, nice to meet you,
Yeah,
man.
you too.
Yeah, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you for taking care of
Thanks,
our kiddo.
Jess. Yeah.
Teaching her
For
something.
bringing us up.
Thanks.
It's been fun.
Good.
Hot dogs will win. They seem pretty nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Hell, I've been trying to get my family to come to a game for years,
Yeah.
but Mom works first and third shift sometimes, same day.
Ugh.
You know the Absolute Pair in Westfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been there 22 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad lives in Fredonia, so when he doesn't drive.
Oh, you just missed my favorite.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Do they like the setup?
Yeah.
It was all culture, Jason.
I asked Bryce if I texted him and I asked if I could get a ball. He gave me a ball.
Bryce Jackson, the pitcher?
Yeah.
You throw it up here?
No, I went downstairs and gave it off.
I saw his Facebook, like, because when I'd get friends or whatever, he had something a while back about him having Tommy John.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's already had it? No kidding.
My
think-
friend.
You think that might have impacted his throwing this year? I don't know if it.
He's looked all right,
My
but
dad says when you get Tommy John, usually you come back better, but
Oh,
that's not
alright.
always true.
yeah, Max was saying to me that sometimes people get it on purpose, and I said,
And then they come back.
no, I wanted to say that was stupid, but because we were on air, I said it was not smart.
Yeah. Couple miles per hour faster after that. Sometimes.
Yeah, thankfully for me though, ballpark's walking distance from my apartment.
Not me.
Still across from Whiteridge, right?
Yeah, still there. Yeah, my car's timing belt needs replaced. Once that happens, it'll be like it was before. A lot of work got put into it. If it would have gone to anyone else, it would have been $3,000, but because I'm like a son to the guy I bought it from, got it for $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
are pretty cheap.
I love sedans because if you have a truck, it's a gas guzzler.
Well, mine is anyways, even though I have a sedan.
What's up?
Mine takes a lot of gas, but it lasts me a while. But it's still just.
My car wouldn't pass inspection, so I'm riding it dirty
Mine
right now.
barely does.
You know, I told you about when I did that when I
I get
switched my
lucky.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know I did it dirty for 2 months and then I got pulled over. I was driving to work,
that's not
state
good for me.
supercar, state police car, scanned my plate, 9 in the morning. Well, he didn't give me any crap though. It was a fix-it ticket. I got taken care of. They were dismissed.
Yeah, they won't pass mine, so I just have to get a new car. My dad's buddy, he's like 80 now, 82, so he can't drive his car anymore.
Was his vision getting bad or?
Yeah, his vision is bad. He's got like a lazy eye that wanders, so he's already hit two other vehicles. So
Yeah, my granny's 89 years old. And she
So
still
anyway,
drives.
he had this car and he sold it.
Very spry.
It had 40,000 miles on it. I think it was like a 2009.
That's not bad.
2010.
3K?
Yeah. And then he told my dad, he goes, yeah, I had to get rid of my car. And my dad goes, well, I wish you would have told me beforehand because my son's looking for a car.
Yeah, my 2003's got 137,000 and change.
Mine has like 100 exactly. I don't know how much longer it's gonna keep pushing.
It's
I
not
don't
getting
even know
any
how that
cheaper.
works. I don't know how that works.
And people always ask me why it took so long between getting my license and getting my car. It's when you don't live with your mommy or daddy and you have your own apartment, it makes it harder. And I moved out when I was 19. I'll pick my own apartment over a car any day.
They got the mayor here. I think this is the first game the mayor came to. Sam Teresi used to come to everything.
I've seen him in a couple games.
What, St. Nicholas? Eddie?
No, Teresi.
Yeah, see, he still comes to the games, but the current mayor is just not a baseball. Somebody asked him, he goes, yeah, I don't really like baseball. I'm like, come on, man, it's a hometown team. You got to at least show up to
Yeah, you're the mayor.
show
for
your
God's sake.
support. But he's here tonight to throw out the first pitch, from what I understand.
Yep. And again, I already got the anthem singer, so
Who's singing the anthem?
Derek DeVilliger.
Oh.
They haven't had as many anthem singers as they did last year.
It was funny when they didn't have an anthem singer, but you could hear the lady in the crowd. On the
Yeah.
I just said a couple times that mezzo soprano voice, get her on the field. The first time there's a crying baby,
Oh, yeah, we were trying. I remember that.
you and I were like, I think that's when all of us were here. Us two, Jess and Max. Yeah, even Councilman PJ Wendell was honorary bad boy for a game. It's like,
Sam
you're-
was on Friday night, Teresi. He was down there. I was going to go talk to him, but
Yeah.
wanted to get out of here during the fireworks.
Don't get me wrong, he's a good guy, but from interacting with him, I was working for News Now. He's kind of like Mike. Enough about me. Let's talk about me. I love to hear the sound of my own voice.
You ask him what time it is, he'll tell you how to build He's got to
Exactly.
over-explain everything. He's just, you know.
Okay, please tell us how this person was assaulted. It all started when I was born.
Well, so
Dr.
yeah,
Seuss could
I
come
do
up with something
a
better.
month when I used to do the news. I'd do a monthly interview with them. Like, I understand there's going to be a new baseball team coming in. They call themselves the Tarp Skunks. Well, let's go back in time, Jason. You know, Jamestown almost lost their professional team back in 1993 when the Expos left. But, however, Niagara Falls didn't want to have their professional, so he went through this whole convoluted backstory. I was like, Sam, come on, you know, we got a lot of important things to talk about here. And the thing about him is I would set up probably 10 questions for a half an hour interview, and we'd get to like 3 or 4 of them. And then we'd
Probably
run
take
half
15
an hour.
minutes a pop.
With Eddie, with the current mayor, I have to get at least 15 questions lined up, and we still have to find time to cover a half an hour because he's so quick with his answers.
If I'm seeing like the preseason thing back in November, he seems alright, but from what I've heard, I wouldn't be shocked if he'd be one turn and done.
Might be. He's still practicing law, so he's got at least that to fall back on.
Right.
It depends on who runs against him. They say Kemendlin might. The current council will.
I wonder if Wilfong would have gotten Uzo.
Nah, he did it just because they didn't want Uzo. The Republicans didn't want Uzo to run, so they.
Because he's libertarian.
Well, he switched to libertarian after he lost the Republican primary. He wasn't even a libertarian. He just switched to it after the.
Wow.
After he lost the Republican primary, he still wanted to be mayor. So.
That's strange because I've interviewed him a couple times. That was when I was working for WNY News now. Even though I was mainly the sports guy, they were just throwing me on other stuff.
It's starting to drizzle again.
It's just a drizzle though, it's not a downpour, it's gonna play.
Right, but it's still just.
That's a lot of fun to play football in those the rain.
That's the best
Yeah.
weather.
It'll be hard.
Or a street basketball in the rain, that's a lot of fun.
I just
Twist your knee or ankle or something. Watery basketball courts.
Hey, I've had rolled ankles, they suck, I know. We were killing time in Brockton, it's a ghost town.
I called the Brockton football game in a mud bowl. It was like nothing but downpour.
Who
Both
they-
teams are like 1-4 or 1-5. This is back when they both had their individual.
What was it, 7 Westfield?
It was in no, it was Panama. It was a Brockton, Panama.
Oh, I
game.
remember, yep, I remember Panama.
2006. But anyway, it was one of the best football games I've ever called on the radio because it was so back and so close. Because it was so muddy, you know. It's like the weather's a great equalizer in football. So even
Especially
a
at the
crummy
mud
team.
bowl.
It is.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, you know, another good Mud Bowl?
I think-
Pittsburgh, Miami.
Oh yeah.
The 3-0 game.
3-0 game. Monday Night Football.
That was when Miami went 1-15. The only win was against Cam Cameron's team he'd later be a defensive coordinator for, Baltimore. And their starting quarterbacks were Dante Culpepper, Cleo Lemon, Joey Harrington.
Dante had some good years.
Yeah, but then after Minnesota, he fell off the map.
Oh yeah.
Oakland, he was horrible.
So what do you think the Bills are going to do this year?
I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but I think they'll get another run in the playoffs.
I think they'll make it to the AFC Championship game.
I don't think KC's going to be, because them losing Tyreek Hill's going to be big.
Yeah.
And how he did not get penalized for conduct threw me off. It's like when he threw the deuces.
Right.
All I know is the defensive schematics those last 13 seconds were horrible.
Oh my god, I was watching in my dorm room and I didn't have cable.
I was at my
and
buddy's.
It wasn't.
Was it live stream?
It was a live stream, but it was like late. It was like maybe a couple seconds late, and my mom called me, and she was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Wait, what happened?" Because it didn't happen yet, and it was something good, and then
Well, probably Gabriel Davis's touchdown catch
yeah, it
scored one.
was.
And
I was like, "Mom."
you know what's ironic? 13 seconds into overtime the next week, Mahomes throws a pick.
Yeah.
I was watching it.
Since
My
he
wife
plays
said to
Buffalo
watch
championship
football,
game,
and I was
Burrow
just
gets
like-
killed.
I go, holy shit. Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I cannot believe it.
That's
Because
so
I
when
still, when I
saw
said Super Bowl, I'd say go one game at a time.
And that 13 seconds just killed them. I didn't understand the kick either. How they did that squibber kick that went out of bounds. Is that what happened? Right?
No, there was a kickoff. It was beyond the goal line. It was like on the 2.
Oh, it was a touchback. So it set him up at the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
And right when I saw that happen, I go, they might be able to tie this up if he can get downfield. All he needs to get is about 40 yards in 13
Some
seconds.
assume 625.
Two plays.
But they did reverse the overtime
What's
rule.
that?
So I'm assuming 6:55.
Yep.
Yeah, it's 6:50 right now, so figured I'd ask. Is this the third time this playlist is played?
Could be.
I had music ready for them, but I was overruled. They didn't want my help, so whatever. I did it for the team for 3 years and public address, so I'm doing something even better now. So
When you did the hockey games, you have to play the music too and
No.
announcing.
No, I do
had to for the Jamestown Jets. You remember them, right?
I know of them, but I was not living there at the time.
That was 2009 and 10. I did the PA announcing for all the Jets home games, and I had to also play the music. So talk
Andrew
about
Hill did that too.
trying to keep busy. Yeah, I remember Andrew coming in.
I also did that for the Jackals as well.
Remember when they did the exhibition game for the junior?
Oh, USA and Belarus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was working.
Yeah, I had to do the announcing there. The PA system was awful.
Oh, their system sucks.
Yeah.
Because I'm subbed in
They
for
asked me
volunteers.
because Andrew was asking for too much money. He was like, for a game like that, you got to pay me at least $250 a game. And they
I
were
would
like,
have settled for like 35.
yeah. I told him, I said, I'll do it for $50 a game. I like hockey. Why not?
I was gonna prep myself. Almost sounds like Boogie Chilla.
Good crowd.
It is. When I went to grab something to hold me over downstairs, the lines were so big. I picked the smallest one because I wanted to hold off on that and just grab something different.
Now you can eat all the pizza you want.
What's up?
Now you can eat all the pizza you want. Just save me a slice.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I just wanted to wait for everybody to have a chance.
Oh yeah, that's what I figured too.
The only time I'd ever go crazy is when I'm told it's free reign. Buffalo fries. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball right here on WRFA. I'm Norm Rodriguez, joined by Jason Sample. Tonight's game features your Jamestown Tarp Skunks hosting the Batavia Muckdogs in the final home game of the regular season. A reminder, support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks Baseball is provided in part by Schultz Auto Group, the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, Reg Lene Center for the Arts, and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Stabilization Grant. So, Jason, you and I talked about this prior to the start of the game. Jamestown still has a chance to make the postseason, but they're going to need a lot of help.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Norm. There's a slim chance of them making it in, but at least there's a chance. But they need a lot of things to happen, basically, for Jamestown to finish fourth place or higher, which will qualify them to get into the postseason. They need to win their remaining 3 games, and it starts tonight against Batavia, and then they're on the road at Newark and Elmira. Now, not only do they have to win their final 3 games to make their record 24-21-1, they still would need a combination of 2 things to happen. That would be Geneva losing at least 2 of their final 3 games, Elmira losing at least 2 of their other 3 games, because I noted Jamestown will be playing Elmira a little bit later on this week on Friday. And then they also would need Auburn to lose at least 2 of their other 3 games. So if Geneva, Elmira, or Auburn lose 2 of their other 3 games, and Jamestown wins all 3, they're in. So there's a chance, is what I'm saying. There's a chance.
Floyd, it's not 1 in a billion.
But it all starts tonight. I mean,
Yes,
the rest
does.
will sort itself out, obviously, but Jamestown needs to win this evening, and it's against a team that they have had little luck of winning. They had defeated them once, but, we've got a really good team coming in here with the Batavia Muckdogs. They're the top team in the division, 27-14 record in 41 games played. They're 6-4 in their last 4 games. But one of those was a loss against Jamestown. So,
yes,
again, it appears that Jamestown can defeat Batavia, but again, they also would have to win tomorrow night as well as on Friday night. Now, to throw a little bit more of a wrench into things here, tonight's game being threatened by weather. We're already under a half an hour delay, and we may see another delay a little bit later on, because the forecast does show a cell of a lot of rain in a short period of time coming our way around 8 o'clock or so. So we might have a slight delay depending on where we're at, but we got to get at least 5 complete innings in for this game to count, and we're hoping that will happen, and Jamestown needs to win if they want to hold on to any hope of making it into the postseason.
Yes, indeed, and from taking a quick look at the schedules for Geneva and Auburn, both teams, they do not play till tomorrow, so we won't be able to track those games for any listeners tuning in right now to this radio broadcast or the YouTube stream, so you're going to have to keep track of it on Point Streak to keep those tabbed up.
Right. Yeah, Elmira, who is one of the teams that we'll keep an eye on, they're going to be playing Geneva and then at Geneva. So they do have a home-at-home series tonight and tomorrow. So I think Geneva is playing tonight, at least they're on the schedule this morning when I checked it out. And then they got Jamestown on Friday night for their final home game, and then they're at Batavia on Saturday, a game that appears on the schedule for Saturday. So Elmira, they've got 4 games remaining. Auburn has 3 on the schedule, and Geneva has 3 as well. We'll see what happens. Obviously it's been an exciting season nonetheless. We saw some highs and we saw some lows. I think
yes, we have.
The low would be the 7 losses in 8 games. That was a streak that didn't help them out, because in the middle of the season they were looking great. They were in, I think, second place at one point. But, that's what happens. You start losing players because they've reached their pitch count, or because of injuries, or some of them just, one of them got homesick. One of them wanted to go back home early and get ready for college. So there's one of them had to go home and start working again. So there's a variety of factors that play into why the team isn't here throughout the entire season, but we do have a team here, and they're ready to play ball. They got the national anthem. So how about if we take a break right now, and then on the other side, we'll bring you some Tarp Skunk baseball right here on WRFA.
Consider our answer and the forms are here available.
And our national anthem singer is just about ready to turn on the microphone.
Yep, and it's Derek Tavilla.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
so once again, that was the national anthem, and once again, the singer that was Derek DeVilliger.
Wow.
He sounded really good, a nice baritone voice.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. A nice way to wrap up the season one final time here in the national anthem live, and performed perfectly as far as I'm concerned. He sounded great.
Yeah, and sadly, there hasn't been as many anthem singers as there was the year before, albeit it was mainly one singer doing the majority. That was Annabelle Bogart. She sounds really good when she does them, too.
We did have an instrumentalist here, I think, at one point, a violinist.
Marissa Rosado.
Yeah, and she did a phenomenal job just doing it through an instrument that's not easy to play the national anthem on.
She did it back-to-back games.
So we've had some great live performances here when duty calls, and it's, as we all know, not an easy song to sing.
No.
Very, very difficult to pull off, and he did it masterfully, and as well as some of the other ones that did it live as well. So that's really what one of my favorite parts of coming down to the ballpark, obviously, besides watching the action, is the national anthem and getting you geared up and keyed up and ready to go.
Goosebumps.
What do we got here for a starting lineup for our visiting team, Batavia Muckdogs, Norm?
You took the thought right out of my head, Jason. So the three batters due up first will be Josh Leadham, the right fielder, Kyle Corso, the first baseman, and one of the guys to hit one of only 2 home runs out of this park this year, Tyler Canoe, at the DH spot. And then 4 through 10, it'll be Levi Aguila, the catcher, Trey Bacon, the center fielder, Gavin Schrader, the left fielder, Jerry Reinhart, the third baseman, Alex Torres, the EH, Ken Dodson, the second baseman, and Caleb Rodriguez, the shortstop, and the pitcher that's getting the starting call on the hill tonight for Jamestown. And this is the perfect timing for it. Life is like a bowl of Perry's. Travis Perry is the starting pitcher tonight for Jamestown.
I was looking at the number 3 hitter for Batavia, and it reminds me of a popular presidential slogan from the 19th century. Not any that we're familiar with in modern times, but Tippy Canoe and Tyler too is the when Zachary Tyler ran for election. That was the expression. So his name's Tyler Canoe, so he's got them both covered there.
Yep, and he's got 2 N's in his last name.
I should also note that we have Jessica Beeler here as well. Jessica, thanks for helping us out throughout the season. You and Max Pinchator. Max's final game was on Friday, but Jessica's here. She's going to be chiming in, giving us some stats, updates, and also helping keep track of stats and keeping an eye on the bullpens and all that. So a nice job this season, Jess. Thank you for all your help as one of our 2 interns.
Thank you. I've been really glad to be here all season, and it's been a really fun experience for me.
Super. Glad to hear that. And Norm, I think we're about ready to get the first pitch underway.
Yeah, Jason, we are. It's going to be Josh Leadham. Well, a pun kind of intended. Leadham leading it off to start off this ball game here. Jamestown, again, they lose tonight. Their playoff hopes are done. First pitch is going to get hit in the right field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Batavia has been known to do that against Jamestown. If they like the first pitch, they'll hack it, and that's a reason why they're 6-1 against this team this year.
Yeah, he wasted no time, saw the pitch that he liked, and quickly dropped it right into right field. So just like that, the Muckdogs with a runner at first and no outs to start off this ball game. 1 pitch, 1 hit, 1 runner on first.
And it's going to be Kyle Corso, the first baseman up. He, like Leadham, is a righty. Perry, though, he's got a really good pickoff in his last start. He was able to get a runner that was nailed on first base. Next pitch by Perry, that got him right in the back. So 2 pitches, a base hit, and a hit by a pitch. So 2 pitches, 2 men on base, and again, it's going to be Tyler Canoe, the DH, up to bat, and we have seen him not only hit it to a canoe, but to a gondola.
Right. James has got to settle in here. Perry's got to relax a little bit and get his composure back. Obviously, 2 pitches and 2 runners on is not the way you want to start a ball game. We'll see what happens here with Canoe now, the DH stepping up here at the right side of the plate against Perry, the starter for Jamestown.
So Canoe, he's also a right-hander. First 3 batters are righties from what we have seen. As Perry's getting the sign from campus, he takes check at second. Here's the next pitch, and that one's right down Broadway for strike 1.
Canoe has an average of .303 with 142 at-bats, 27 runs scored, 43 hits, 4 doubles, 37 RBIs, and 12 bases stolen.
So he is a run-scoring machine here for the Muckdogs.
Next pitch by Perry. It goes in the dirt, but campus, like he's been well known for behind the dish, blocking that ball to even the count at once.
Perry waiting for his sign here. I think he's ready and set for the delivery.
And here's Perry's next pitch, and that one's low, ball 2.
As I noted, the weather is going to play a factor probably later on. Right now we're in a lull with the rain. We might see some more precipitation. We probably will see precipitation in about an hour from now or so. The wind is blowing out of the stadium right now. You look at the flag out there in center field. It is blowing out. We'll see if that plays a factor in carrying the ball. It's just a light wind, though, nothing too heavy.
2-1 pitch on the way by Perry, and that hits the outside corner. Evens the count at 2 as we got the double deuces. From first to third, it is double play optional between those bases. Any kind of an out for Perry would be very important because this is one of the worst jams he's been in to start off the first as he fakes a pickoff on Leadham. He gets back to second safely, and Batavia, like Jamestown, they are aggressive base runners. They've got a boatload of base runners that can pilfer the bases with efficiency.
Yeah, you want to keep those leadoff runners in check and not get them too far off the bag, so that spin move there was just a way to try to keep the runner at second honest.
2-2 pitch, and that one's low. Count goes full.
Yeah, a little low and inside there, so we got a full count here. You don't want to load the bases right to start the ball game, but we could see that here. It's important for Perry to get the pitch he wants and try to drop it in there without Canoe grabbing a hold of it and getting a base hit and possibly scoring the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, we've seen Leadham. There was a game where he had multiple stolen bases here in Dietrich, so he is well known to take off when needed. And it could also be a possible double hit and run with runners on second and first because usually your first 2-3 batters, they're speed demons.
Definitely.
But we got a full count pitch on the way. Canoe looking to either get a base hit or take the walk, whatever he can get. Here's the payoff, and that's going to go into center field, a base hit. Leadham's getting waved home. Heading over to third is going to be Corso. The throw's not in time. Leadham scores, and right off the bat, 1-0 Batavia, and they are just wasting no time.
Yeah, Canoe just drove that one right up the middle there. Perry almost had a chance of knocking it down, but couldn't get his glove over fast enough, and it hit right across second base and into shallow center field, buying the leadoff runner, Leadham, to score all the way from second there. Like I said, a base hit is really all it would take with the leadoff runner at second, and that's exactly what we saw. So now runners at the corners, the score 1-0, no outs yet here in the top of the first inning of a very important game for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Must win to stay in the hunt for the postseason.
And with that, another speedster that's up now to bat, even though he's a catcher, Levi Aguila, and he's one of several players for Batavia with double figures in base steals. Perry's next pitch, that's inside, ball 1.
Aguila has an average of .239 with 109 at-bats, 33 runs scored, 26 hits, 5 doubles, and 13 stolen bases.
Number 13. Sorry to anybody that's a triskaidekaphobiac as we got a 1-0 count with nobody out. Runners are at the corners. Perry looking to get out of this jam. Next pitch, Aguila hits it. It's going into fair territory. It stays in the infield. Tucker makes the catch.
Nice job by Tucker. I thought that might have dropped, and then it could have spelled danger had it up there, but Tucker coming all the way over from short and making the grab right there at second. I think he probably would have been the only one to have a chance of getting there because I think Johnson was a little too far off of it. So nice play by Jamestown to get the first out here and keep both runners from advancing. Still at the corners here with 1 out, and where we got the next batter at the plate.
Yeah, and it's Trey Bacon, the center fielder. Here's Perry's next pitch, and that hits the outside corner for strike 1.
Bacon has an average of .268 with 41 at-bats, 5 runs scored, 11 hits, 5 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases.
With his jersey number, though, let's play a little 4 degrees of Trey Bacon as the next pitch is on the way. Runner goes. Here's a throw by Campus, and it's not going to be in time. So that eliminates the double play possibility. And Tyler Canoe, not only can he hit the ball deep, he can steal the bag.
Yeah, Canoe can scoot here, and I was waiting for you to make a Bacon reference there, Norm, and you wasted no time doing so. Nice work there, alluding to the one Kevin Bacon in 6 degrees of separation with that fine actor, maybe the second greatest actor of the 20th century next to Gary Busey.
Here's the next pitch. It's going to be a grounder. It goes right to Johnson, and a throw to Bingham. His foot was off the bag. So that's going to be an error, and the runners are at the corners again, and another run scores, so it's going to make it 2-0 as Corso scores from third.
You hate to see that, too. I mean, honestly, you want to try to prevent a run from scoring, but if they are going to get a run, you want to at least get the out, and there was an opportunity to do that Unfortunately, unable to do so. They will score that as an E4. And still just one out here. And again, runners at the corners. And the score is now 2-0. Batavia Muckdogs leading Jamestown as now Gavin Schneider, I believe. Schroeder stepping up, the left-handed hitter, looking to keep this momentum going for the Muckdogs in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, I believe this is the first lefty hitter we've seen in their lineup as the first pitch was outside for a ball.
Yeah, Jamestown has several, but Batavia, not so many. Most of them lining up on the right-hand side.
Schroeder has an average of 308 with 65 at-bats, 12 runs scored, 20 hits, 3 doubles, 16 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases.
So I'm sure Schroeder wouldn't mind driving in a run to take with his little piano, as it's a 1-0 count, just 1 out. 2 runs already here by Batavia in the first inning. They are in first place in the Western Division, but Utica is on their trail a game and a half behind, as the next pitch was swung on and missed for strike 1. We got the triple sticks on the board, the 1-1 count with 1 out.
Watching Bacon over there leading off on first. Perry is as well. He might throw over there. You got to be careful, though. Sometimes I get nervous when you try to do the pickoff at first with a runner at third. That ball goes past the first baseman. It's danger.
As Schroeder hits this one foul, going beyond the Skunk bullpen for strike 2, a 1-2 count. And we've seen it before with some of the Skunk pitchers. If you go in the well one too many times, you're not hitting that bubble and crude. You're hitting mud, and it's going to be an E1.
Well, let's see if Perry can't get his first strikeout here. 1-2 count.
First, though, a pickoff on Bacon. He gets back in safely, so keeping it nice and crispy, not flimsy and blanched.
I don't think I'd ever want to try blanched bacon.
Counts 1-2, 1 out. Even a sac fly can drive home Canoe. Next pitch, Schroeder fouls it off, nearly plinkoed on the lights, but it goes to the concourse. Count stays 1-2, and Schroeder making Perry work here to get this second out. And the double play is still in effect between second and first.
Yeah, with Bacon still at first here. We'll see if he decides to steal or not, but Perry doing a decent job keeping him from getting too big of a lead off.
Well, he also doesn't want to be a victim of a strike him out, throw him out, but here is one it's going to be a foul ball. It looked like it hit off his foot anyway.
Right, I think that would have been a foul, regardless of if it landed out of bounds or not. Campus making an effort there, but it wouldn't have been an out had he have landed in his glove. It did bounce off his foot first.
Got to give him an A for initiative, though.
Yeah, Johnny Campus definitely hustles behind the plate. We saw that excellent play on Friday when he was backing up the errant throw behind first and was able to throw the runner out.
Yeah, that was Scotty O'Brien. That was game 2 of the doubleheader.
Yeah, definitely a great defensive player for the Skunks, no doubt about it.
And his batting average has also improved throughout the season as another pickoff on Bacon.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, it was close, but he was able to get back in safely, and Bacon able to save a few good men. Count still 1-2, just 1 out. Runners are at the corners. Canoe's on third. Bacon's on first. Bacon's nearly got a suicide lead off the bag. Here's another pickoff, and it's going to be a balk. So an illegal pitch motion by Perry, and that's going to drive in another run.
And Perry's not happy about that call either. He wants to talk with the umpire about it. He said that his foot stayed on the rubber when he made his move over to first.
From my view, it looked like he started and then shifted over. When you start and shift, they're going to call that every time.
All right.
That's just from my view of it, though. So a balk there by Perry, making it 3-0 already. Here in the top of the first, Bacon is able to advance 90 feet because all base runners get a free base, regardless.
So that takes away the double play, and another run scores.
Yep, Canoe scores the run off it. Counts 2-2, 1 out. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off again, and got to give Schroeder credit. He's making Perry work.
Yeah, he definitely is here, and that's part of the battle of wearing down the pitcher, but obviously wearing down the pitcher isn't too much of a concern at this point for Batavia with a 3-0 lead. Oftentimes you want to try to get the pitcher to work so you can get them exhausted, and then in the third, fourth inning or so, get a chance to get a few hits, but they've already done that. 1-2
pitch, caught, looking on the inside corner, strike 3. Once again, life's the bowl of Perry's, and a much-needed out number 2. And now it's going to be Jerry Reinhart, the third baseman.
Boy, you said it, much needed indeed here, and Jamestown's got to get out of this without any more damage. We do have a runner in scoring position with the footloose Bacon out there on second base. And they still can do some more damage here depending on what number 9 does, Reinhart, for the Muckdogs.
I wonder, though, if he's going to try and chase that cab. But Reinhardt, like most of these batters we've seen in the first inning, a right-hander. Here comes the next pitch by Perry. Reinhardt swings. It's going to be a chopper. It's going to go right over to Johnson. Oh, he bobbled it. It gets mishandled there by Tucker. That's going to be an E6. Second error of the inning for Jamestown. And everybody's going to be safe. Bacon stays put at third. Runners are at the corners once again, as now it's going to be Alex Torres, the extra hitter.
And the field's dry too, Norm. It's not like it was drenched with water because they kept the tarp out there. We did see a little bit more precipitation coming down after they removed the tarp, but not enough, I think, to really get the ball too slick where it would be difficulty to handle and make the throw over. I think he just rushed it a little too much, and as a result, unable to make the throw over.
Next pitch by Perry. That hits the outside corner for strike one.
Alex Torres up to bat with an average of 265, 49 at-bats, 8 runs scored, 13 hits, and 5 bases stolen.
Next pitch by Perry. That's outside for ball one. So again, runners are at the corners. Bacon is at third, and Reinhardt is at first. So let's see if Bacon can run like a hollow man to home plate. As the next pitch by Perry's on the way. And Torres hits a chopper, goes right to Perry. He throws a lobber over to Davis in time, and Batavia, they put a big dent on in the first inning.
Yes, they did, but top of the first is over with. We'll take a break and thank one of our sponsors. I'll take care of this one, Jess. I know you were doing stats. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Tarp Skunks this year has been brought to you by Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group celebrating over 50 years of serving the community's automotive needs with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. At Schultz Auto Group, all repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for every automotive need, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. The next generation of auto care is already at Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Community Baseball on your community radio station WRFA-LP for 2 consecutive years. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com.
Jason, as always, thank you very much. As we're seeing Batavia's starting pitcher, it's Alex Hale, number 66, and the first 3 batters he'll be facing for the Skunks. It's going to be the center fielder, Henry Martinez, and then the shortstop, number 1, Mark Tucker, and then stay out of this guy's way or you'll pay. Listen to what Bay has to say, the third baseman, number 7, Cody Bay.
You could do that all day.
Indeed I would, except I'm not Theodore Geisel. The 4 through 10 batters are going to be the extra hitter, Pat Bigham, left fielder, Brandon Lane, DH, Trey Zarowski, who is back after suffering a dislocated ankle, captain Johnny Campus, the catcher, Jordan King at right, Jack Davis at first, and Nate Johnson at second. So those are the batting lineup for your Skunks, and again, they're already in a 3-0 hole. They got to win if they want to stay in the race for this postseason.
They got to turn it on here. Just put the top of the first behind them and see what kind of damage they can do here in the bottom of the first. Not easy against the number 1 team in the division against Batavia, but I think they can be up to the task as long as they stay focused and obviously try to make some contact with the ball, or a walk will do. Even getting hit by a pitch, I know it hurts, but any way to get on base is the strategy here because they need to get this win, and the only way to do that is to get on base and score some runs.
And the guy they got leading off, I know the opposing teams have done their homework on this. When Martinez comes up to bat, more often than not, he's going to surprise you with a bunt down the third base line or in the middle of the pitcher circle. And he's, more often than not, been successful at it.
Well, see if your prophecy comes true here with the leadoff batter stepping up. Rarely do you see the leadoff batter using the bunt to get on base, but like I said, any way to get on base, we will take.
Here comes Hale's first pitch of the evening, and Martinez swings at it. It's going to go foul, and it nearly hits the light tower, but it goes into the concourse for strike 1.
Martinez with an average of 286 with 105 at-bats, 22 runs scored, 30 hits, 13 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases.
He's one of 5 Skunks in double figures in the Pilfer department, as next pitch on the way by Hale is inside, ball 1.
Nice turnout tonight for the final home game of the season. It's great to see the weather hasn't deterred too many people from coming out. It's another free admission night here, thanks to the one of the sponsors for the Skunks who made that possible. And obviously the crowd took advantage of it in spite of the threat of rain.
That's the loyalty. That's one of the things that's the best part, as Martinez does bunt, and it's going to go foul.
There you go, Norm. You called it, and we saw it, but unfortunately he couldn't straighten it out, and with 2 strikes, we probably won't see a bunt attempt now.
That's the equivalent
I think
of a
we did see that once this season. Somebody did bunt on the second strikeout, and it went foul.
I believe that was Johnson.
I think you're right.
And all I know is I've got the 15 prophecies, except I didn't drop a stone tablet of 5 of them. If you ever seen History of the World, you know what I'm talking about.
Good old Mel Brooks.
Counts 1 and 2. Hale getting the sign, and here comes the next pitch. Martinez looking to get on base to start it up in the bottom of the first. Outside, count goes even at 2, so Martinez staying patient.
You mentioned the Mel Brooks movies. You know, Carl Reiner, who was another popular comedy director in the 70s and 80s, was honored today in Jamestown at the National Comedy Center. He, of course, worked a lot with Steve Martin on several films. Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, The Jerk.
The Jerk, The Man with Two Brains.
Yep.
Oh, The Jerk's hilarious. But we got an even count, 2-2. Next pitch on the way. Fouled off. Everybody duck. And it went in the press box.
Hey, the video team finally gets their souvenir. I hope everybody's okay over there.
And it went over the plexiglass.
Nice.
They got a layered plexiglass. And disclaimer, nobody got hurt during the recording of this broadcast.
We hope.
Counts even at 2-2. And one of the ones that Campus hit that went foul, it actually broke one of the pictures near the bathroom. We saw it right after the game. Max and I were talking about it.
Yeah, I think that was in the Post-Journal box.
2-2 count, and the pitch is in the dirt. Count goes full.
So full count here. No outs. A long battle here for the leadoff hitter for the Skunks. You like to see that. Again, wearing down the pitcher is part of the game here, and the more pitches he gets, the likelihood later on in the game you can wear him down and possibly get a good hit or get a series of good hits. Jamestown needs all the help it can get, down by 3 runs here in the bottom of the first.
Here comes the payoff by Hale. And this one's going to go into right. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. And Martinez will pump the brakes, stay at first. So Martinez's work does reap the rewards. A leadoff single, and now it's going to be Mark Tucker, the shortstop. And he's the only switch hitter on the team for the Skunks, but he mainly bats southpaw style.
Yeah, we talked about how Batavia, I think, was their 5th batter that came up left-handed. But Jamestown has a series of batters that we'll probably see stepping up on the left-hand side of the plate, including Tucker, as you noted, being the switch hitter here. One of 2 players from Jamestown Community College, correct?
No, Nate Johnson and Bryce Jackson.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mark Tucker goes to North Georgia.
That's true. My apologies to the Tucker family.
I don't think they'll trip about it. They enjoyed the broadcast, got the opportunity to talk to them when they came down to see a game. Very nice people. As the next pitch hits the inside corner for strike 1.
Tucker has an average of .236 with 106 at-bats, 27 runs scored, 25 hits, 16 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases.
So Tucker looking for that right one to get into the outfield, and they're playing fairly deep. So if he can aim it to where in the middle green patch of grass as Martinez is taking off, there was nobody covering the bag, and he's in safe.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a slow start there making that steal, but luckily there was nobody on the base, and it was a bit of an errant throw anyway, so he now is in scoring position with no outs, and now we just want to see a little bit of inside baseball here to try to advance him 1 base at a time if you really want to, station to station, to get that run across. But let's see what Tucker can do here, facing a 1-1 count. As the pitcher steps off momentarily, now back on the rubber, and ready to get his sign for the deal.
Hale looking to let the Hale down right upon the Skunks. It's a runner on second, nobody out. A base hit by Tucker, and with Martinez's speed, we could see the first run of the game for Jamestown. As Martinez playing a little mind games. Next pitch, that's going to go through into, no, I beg your pardon. Dodson's able to get there and gets the throw in time, but he does advance Martinez 90 feet to third, and with that, it'll be Cody Bay, the third baseman.
Well, sacrifice fly here. We'll get a runner across the plate. I'm sure Cody Bay is not thinking about a sac fly at this point. He probably wants to get a nice rip and keep things going with just 1 out. But let's see what happens as he steps up on the right-hand side of things.
Indeed, and if he gets on, Batavia needs to look out because he does lead the team in bases stolen.
He leads the team in a lot of things. With a .300 average, he has 140 at-bats, 33 runs scored, 42 hits, 7 doubles, 17 RBIs, 31 base on balls, and 19 stolen bases.
Man can do everything.
I know the 31 walks do lead the team, and I think he may have learned a trick or two maybe from Patrick O'Shaughnessy, because he was always like that before, unfortunately, his injury cut his season short.
And that first pitch was a ball, by the way,
Yes,
so
it
we got a
was.
1-0 count. For those listening on the radio and not watching on YouTube, we got a lot of listeners out there, I realize, too. Not just viewers, but happy to have viewers on YouTube, but just as appreciative of the listeners here in Jamestown on 107.9 FM.
1-0 pitch by Hale, and that one's way outside, 2-0.
Seems like it got a little bit more humid after
I'm feeling
that rain fell. It wasn't quite this humid when we got here at about 5:30 or so, but the humidity has definitely kicked it up there. The dew point is high, as they say, and that can mean we might see more rain.
2-0 pitch, and Bay fouls it off, and it gets fielded there cleanly by one of the members in the Skunks dugout for strike one. Looked like Evan Harrison was jumping away from it, and a couple of the pitchers, though, they like to go for that ball. One of the guys that likes doing that's Ian Korn. He actually caught one in the bullpen during one of the games.
Yeah, not me. I move out of the way. I see a ball coming toward me. I run about 40 feet the other direction, no matter how fast or slow it's coming. Mr. Butterfingers here. Just ask my softball team.
Oh, so you're probably pulling a Stevie Johnson. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's low. Ball 3.
Stevie Norm talking about the receiver for the Buffalo Bills back in 2010 who dropped a sure touchdown-winning catch against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was at that game. I'm a Steelers fan,
and he burnt like Taylor.
And I wasn't too sad to see him drop it, to be honest with you. But that was another sport and another year.
Yep. 3-1 pitch on the way, and Bay fouls it off for a full count going to the concourse. But one drop that's even more humiliating is Lima Swede. Looked at the score, or the Jumbotron.
All right. Got a little too happy.
And that was the playoffs, too, I think.
I doubt we'll see any type of a scenario between the Steelers and Bills this year. I would put money, plenty of it, on the Bills beating the Steelers when they meet, what, in week 3, is it? Week 4?
Somewhere around there.
Some point in the season.
But here's the payoff pitch, and Bay hits a foul, and Bazil will field it. But with the evening dew all over the grass, it's a little slick.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a factor throughout the remainder of this game. As we said, we will see more precipitation. The humidity is high, so it's not like this water that has fallen is going to go anywhere. It's not going to evaporate by any means. And it's just something that the players have to be mindful of and be a little bit more careful, especially when fielding a ball on the grass.
Part dew on the payoff pitch, and Bay hits this one to right. Got a good crack, but it goes foul. That probably could have been extra bases with Bay's speed.
Yeah, it just started curving a little bit too much and carried. If it had been a hit to right field from the other side of the plate, it probably would have curved the opposite direction. But here we are. 3-2 count. Runner at first. Jamestown trying to score a run, but just one out here. They're down 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning. This game had a late start. We began at 7 o'clock because of rainfall earlier in the day.
Well, here's take 3 on the payoff pitch, and Bay hits this one to center. Under it, though, is going to be Bacon. Martinez is going to tag up, and Bay gets a job done. He does drive home a run. Jamestown's on the board 3-1, and now it's going to be the extra hitter, Pat Bigham.
So some sound baseball right there for Jamestown, getting the leadoff runner on, stealing a base to get the second, advancing with the first out, and now the fly out, the sac fly is getting them across the plate. Obviously, you would hope to have more runs scored here, but that's a start. You know, you got to start chipping away, and we've seen Batavia score inning after inning against Jamestown in previous games. We just got to make sure the defense can step up and hold them. But at this point, it's a good start for Jamestown at bat.
And the next pitch was low for ball 1. Again, it's Pat Bigham up the extra hitter.
Bigham has an average of 324 with 37 at-bats, 5 runs scored, 12 hits, 6 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases.
So 1-0 count, next pitch by Hale. And that's going to be ruled outside for ball 2. I almost thought that was going to be called strike 1 the way that looked.
Very close, that's for sure.
Even so, it went Jamestown's way, so I'm sure they'll take it happily.
Bigham has really stepped up well for being a late appearance here on the roster.
Yes, he has, as he hits this one over to third, fielded cleanly by Reinhardt. Here's a throw to the first baseman in Corso in time. Jamestown, they do get a run on the board, but they're still behind 3-1.
And with that, that does 1 inning of play. We'll send it back to the studio for a quick break. We'll have more baseball in inning 2 right here on WRFA.
All right, so once again, that was the extra innings with Max Pinjator, and some of those were actually pretty funny. When I was hearing scrambled eggs, I'm like, scrambled eggs all over my face? What's a boy to do?
That's what the folks watching on video missed out on, is our commercial breaks on the radio.
As the first pitch of Dodson's going to be hit the center, but Martinez gets there cleanly for the first out. It's going to be Dodson, who just was up. Now it's Rodriguez. Then we're going to be back to the top with Leadham.
These Muckdog batters are wasting no time there. Poor Jessa didn't get a chance to give us the stat line. We'll have to do it the second time around, Jessa. Give us what their season totals are so far, because I think that's the fourth batter now we've seen take the first pitch one way, shape, or form. One of them took it by a hit by pitch, but all the same, they don't waste much time here getting trying to swing and get on base.
Here's the next pitch by Perry, and that's low for ball one. And from watching some of the Muckdog broadcasts against the Skunks, the main reason why Rodriguez has mainly been playing is he's more known for his glove than his bat.
Rodriguez has an average of .234 with 47 at-bats, 12 runs scored, 11 hits, 8 RBIs, 20 base on balls, and 2 stolen bases.
Yeah, .234 average, Norm. You're right. Not exactly known to be a heavy hitter, but that's always a chance to change it around, I guess. There's a strike delivery by Perry, 1-2 the count now.
Yep, the one before hit the outside corner, then the last one hit the center of the plate. So it's a 1-2 count, 1 out. Here comes the next pitch by Perry, and this is going to go through into center for a base hit. So Batavia now able to even their hit to their run total. And now it's going to be back to the top of the order with Leadham, who singled on the very first pitch he saw to start this ball game.
Yeah, that'll help Rodriguez's .234 average, boost that up a bit, and now we're back up to Leadham, who swung at the very first pitch of the ball game, getting a single and eventually scoring the first run of the ball game. If you're just joining us, the score is 3-1. Batavia leading Jamestown here in the top of the second with 1 out and a runner at first.
So Rodriguez, not a big lead off of first as Perry takes the sign. Here's the next pitch, and that's outside, ball one.
Leadham has an average of .349 with 129 at-bats, 30 runs scored, 45 hits, 8 doubles, 22 RBIs, 18 base on balls, and 28 stolen bases.
Yeah, Leadham, he does lead the team in that by a mile, and I wouldn't be surprised if he leads the whole league, because the stolen base has become a long-lost art. There's no way Ricky Henderson's record's ever going to come close.
Yeah, Major League Baseball it definitely has. You still see some leagues out there here and there.
Also, it looks like it's going to be another balk here on Perry.
That umpire behind the pitcher's mound he is he's keeping a close eye on that, and Perry cannot believe it. A second balk that was called, and now Coach Bazile is going to come out and have a word as well because he doesn't believe it. Rarely do you see a balk called in a ball game, let alone two balks in 2 consecutive innings to start the game against the pitcher. Perry has never been called for a balk in far as the games I've seen him play for, so he's kind of confused about this.
Yeah.
And he's talking things over with the coach for Batavia over there and just trying to explain and make his case, but you might want to be talking with the umpires about it rather than the visiting coach. But now he's talking with Perry, and Coach Bazile's going over there to take a look. And finally, Perry's at a loss. I'm at a loss, too. I wasn't watching closely like the umpire was.
That one didn't look like it that time.
Yeah, it looked like just a move to first base to keep the runner close to the bag. And for whatever reason, that umpire has got his laser-focused eyes on the back foot, the left foot, I guess, would be of Perry.
The plant leg,
seeing exactly where it's positioned every millisecond.
Man, I'm sure Clark Kent wouldn't mind vision like that as the next pitch hits the dirt, but Campus able to block it. Count goes 2-0. And the last time these two teams played each other when it was on the road, Bazile actually got ejected from the game. So I was about ready to say he should be careful because the last time there was some questionable stuff. I wasn't sure what it was fully, but he got into the home plate umpire's grill and he just gave him the heave-ho. Next pitch on the way, it hits the outside corner for strike one. Count goes 2-1.
Yeah, you'll see that with any coach. Coach Bazile has been very level-headed and even-keeled for the past 2 seasons for the Skunks, but even he gets a little hot under the collar at times.
Next pitch is swung on and missed to even the count at 2s.
And to be honest, I don't mind seeing that as long as it's not done excessively. Right. I mean, it kind of. I think sometimes it's a morale booster for your team when you see the coach getting fired up and get ejected. Sometimes you don't want to see it happen too many times in a season, but oftentimes that's a spark the players need.
Next pitch is low for ball 3. Count goes full. Corso is due up next. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, and that was a case of one pitch and a base hit and then one pitch right on the nameplate of the area of the back. We got shades of the final countdown. We got a full count with 1 out. Rodriguez on second after the balk call. Payoff pitch is going to be a chopper to third. Bay fields it cleanly. Throws over to first in time for out number 2. Keeping a sharp eye also on Rodriguez. He does stay on second base. So with that, it's going to be Kyle Corso.
Corso was the batter who was hit by a pitch at his first plate appearance here, but Jamestown 1 out away from preventing any runs from scoring. There is a runner in scoring position, as Norm noted, with Rodriguez on second base right now, but just 1 out away from ending this without any more damage being done. The Skunks down by 2 runs, 3-1.
Next pitch on the way by Perry. That hits the outside corner, strike 1.
Corso has an average of .319 with 94 at-bats, 19 runs scored, 30 hits, 8 doubles, 27 RBIs, and 6 stolen bases.
So counts 0-1 with 2 outs. Perry taking a check at Rodriguez. Next pitch, and it's going to be a pass ball. So Rodriguez is going to advance 90 feet to third base, and for Perry, that's very unfortunate. That was not a foul ball.
Yeah, unfortunate, but the good news is it was a strike. It was a swing and a miss. That makes the count 0-2 now, and Perry has plenty of room here to try to get this batter out via strikeout here. Let's see if he can't reach into his arsenal, his toolbox, utility belt, whatever you want to say, and see what kind of stuff he can throw in these next couple of pitches, giving him something to swing at, but nothing he can hit, obviously. Let's see what happens here with this 0-2 count with 2 outs and a runner at third.
Maybe induce a grounder, but Perry's shaking off a couple of signs. Now he's got the one he wants. Here's the 0-2. That one's outside, ball 1.
That almost hit the outside edge of the plate. I thought for sure that would have been another strikeout looking, but instead the umpire called it just a little too outside for a ball. 1-2 the count now. Still plenty of time for Perry to try to work his magic and get this batter out.
Yeah, let's see if Perry has some tool time here. 1-2 pitch. And that one's in the dirt. Count goes even at 2s. We got the triple deuces.
Same exact pitch as the last one. Just a little bit more outside. And I think he's trying to work a breaking ball here. Maybe he'll mix it up this time and go with a changeup.
2-2 pitch on the way. This one's fouled off, and it's going into the bleachers. Count stays even at 2s. And Score still 3-1. 3 runs on 3 hits for Batavia, and for Jamestown, it's a 1-1. 2-2 count still, 2 outs. Corso looking to drive home Rodriguez, and that hit him again. That got him on the elbow, so 2 at-bats, 2 hit by pitches, and now Tyler Canoe is up the bat, and he did get an RBI single in his first at-bat.
Perry's trying to make a case that he actually was a swing that hit him. He said that his wrist broke, and he actually was doing a swinging motion, but neither umpire called it. Instead, they're going to say it hit him on the forearm without a swing, and Johnny Campus is calling time here and trying to communicate with his pitcher, but there we go.
Maybe
Now
he'll
he's
just
settled
calm
in.
him down.
Yeah, because like I said, no runs scored. You got runners at first and third, but 2 outs. So let's focus on the batter and prevent any more damage from being done.
That's got to be the mantra of Perry. Focus on the batter. There is nothing but the batter, as we've got runners on the corners, but he does have the 2 outs as Canoe fouls this one off, and it goes over the top of the bleachers into the concourse for strike 1.
Canoe reached base on a single last time, had a stolen base, and also scored the 3rd run, if I'm not mistaken. The 3rd one scored by the Muckdogs, making the score 3-1 right now.
Next pitch by Canoe, and it's going to be a grounder. Goes right over to Tucker. Long throw to first. His foot's off the bag. He's going to be safe. That's going to be the 3rd error of the game for Jamestown, and that's going to be the 2nd one on Tucker.
Yeah, Canoe has some speed there, but I think Tucker did rush it a little bit more than he needed to, and that threw the first baseman Bigham off of the bag. And as a result, I believe that run did score. So we do have a 4-1 lead now. Just when I thought that the Skunks would be able to get out of this without giving the Muckdogs any more runs, we see a runner cross the plate. So it's now 4-1. Scoreboard doesn't indicate it yet, but that is the score, at least as far as I know, Norm. Rodriguez didn't score, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
All right.
There's nobody on third base.
They've added it now.
Yeah, sometimes it does get a little delayed. Next pitch on the way, and it's going to be right to Tucker, and he'll flip it over to Johnson for the force out. That was Levi Aguila that was able to do that, or that was at bat. But Batavia does add a run to their lead. They're up now 4-1.
Yes, they are. We'll take a break and thank another one of our sponsors, and I think Jess is ready for this one. Go ahead and take it away, Jess.
Support for WRFA's coverage of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball for the 2022 season is brought to you in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses while also promoting the retention and expansion of existing businesses, and it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhances the opportunity for job creation and retention by our businesses. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks on baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 716-661-8900 or visit ccida.com.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you to the IDA for sponsoring Tarp Skunk Baseball in 2022. Very happy to make this broadcast possible thanks to the help of our underwriters, both Schultz and the IDA, along with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Norm, I saw you pointing out something here. What do you got?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to let you know that the next, because I thought you were going to say it, the next 3 batters due up, they are the 5 through 7 hitters. It's going to be Lane, Zarowski, and Campus. So Zarowski, this will be his first home game since his injury because he was playing on the road, but he hadn't been able to play a home game since when he dislocated the ankle.
Lane in left field. Zarowski is the DH, and Campus, who is on double deck, I guess you would say, is the catcher. So those are the first 3 batters. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see more than just 3 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Again, the score 4-1. The Muckdogs leading Jamestown. The Muckdogs have had Jamestown's number most of this season, all
Yes,
but
they have.
1 game. And I guess that's the reason why they're in first place, Norm, of this division. It'll be interesting to see, regardless if Jamestown makes it to the postseason or not. I know I'll be paying attention just to see exactly what team comes out on top. Of course, we have an Eastern Division. Jamestown and Batavia play in the West, but over in the East, the Amsterdam Mohawks look like the team to beat. 36 wins, just 6 losses and 1 tie. An unbelievable win percentage of .850. So a juggernaut in the perfect game collegiate baseball league if ever there was one. But we're focused on tonight's game, not what's happening in the East.
Right.
Just something to be mindful of as we wrap up the season this week and get ready for the postseason. In the meantime, we're ready for our first pitch here. Norm, take it away.
Indeed, and I was just going to say, they've also hit 26 home runs as a team this year, which is incredible. Next pitch by Hale. It's Lane's first one he sees, and it's on the outside corner for strike one.
Lane has an average of .263 with 99 at-bats, 16 runs scored, 26 hits, 4 doubles, 19 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases.
They got Aaron Judge playing for them in between Yankees games. 26 home runs, Norm?
26 as a team, yeah. And the leader has 7 as the next pitch was swung on and missed for strike 2. And they got players, though, that play for the Seminoles of Florida State, Alabama, big powerhouse colleges. And it's insane. It was mind-blowing checking the stat line. But here's the 0-2 on the way, and that's high and outside, ball 1.
We did point out earlier in the season that they do play some teams that aren't quite as strong as what we have here in the West. Glen Falls, for example, has a record of 6-33, and the Boonville Baseball Club is 12-27. Not disparaging them by any means.
Oh no! Next pitch on the way though. It's going to be a shallow one in the outfield, and
drop.
That's going to be a campfire. A bloop single for Brandon Lane. And we got a leadoff guy to start it off here in the bottom of the second, and now it's going to be Trey Zarowski, the DH.
Hey, just like we saw in the first inning, and that resulted in a run for Jamestown. So they got to bite into this 3-run lead by the Muckdogs here. It's a good way to get it started. The leadoff hitter here in the bottom of the second, reaching first base. And let's see if we can't keep things going with Trey Zarowski, the DH, now at the plate. That was close.
Yeah, Lane was taking a pretty big lead. He was pushing it.
Zarowski at the plate has a .314 average, 35 at-bats, 6 runs scored, 11 hits, 4 RBIs, and 1 stolen base.
Next pitch hits the heart of the plate for strike 1, and Zarowski, again, one of the newest members of the Skunks throughout the latter part of the season, and like Bigham, he's been doing very well. He's mainly been a utility infielder, but tonight he's playing DH. Another pickoff, and back in safely is Lane.
Watch that umpire behind the pitcher's mound and see how closely he's watching that foot of the pitcher here.
Because at the end of the day, you got to call it both ways. The next one's fouled off the netting of the grandstands, making the count 0-2.
I know a lot about baseball, Norm, but what constitutes a balk is still something I scratch my head over in terms of sometimes I just don't see it, other times it's obvious. But apparently the umpire knows what a balk is and waits for it any breathing moment that he's alive.
Yeah, well, the next pitch was high and outside for ball 2, so the count goes even at 2s. And usually it's when sometimes if you start your motion and then you stop, or if you look up and you look down and you don't throw your pitch, they're going to call it. Next pitch on the way by Hale, that's fouled off. Count stays the same at 2s. And like they've done throughout the season mainly, as there's going to be a correction, the board was incorrect, so it's going to be a 1-2 count with nobody out and Lane on first. I'm more of a fan of Jamestown's black jerseys because that tail does not block the number. Because sometimes when it's a bigger number, it's harder to tell. But here's the 1-2. Now it goes even. Lane's it's Piggy in the middle. Let's see if they win this game of pickle. Lane gets down, and he's going to be tagged out.
Yeah, you hate to see that happen there. It looks like he got a little caught up, wasn't quite sure if he should steal or not, and then had a delayed jump. And that's the last thing you want to do when trying to steal second there is hesitate. And that split second of hesitation and then going is going to get you in a pickle just about every single time it occurs.
So count is 2-2 with 1 out. So that is a missed opportunity for Jamestown, but Zarowski could atone for that if he can get on base on that base running gaff as he swings and misses for strike 3 and out number 2. And Johnny Campus is now up the bat, and that was actually Hale's first strikeout of the game, and he's got a chance for his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game.
Well, we'll see what Captain Johnny can do here. He's definitely been a spark plug for the team all season long, at least playing with emotion. We already mentioned his defensive prowess. Came on strong in terms of his batting average. I do think he leads the team in Ks, though, this season.
I believe he does too. His next pitch was outside for a ball, but he's not scared to swing the bat.
That's exactly it, Norm. I'm not throwing any shade at him at all.
Oh, no.
I love watching Campus play both at bat with that home run we saw that's in our introduction here that we play for every game, as well as behind the plate.
Next pitch is high and outside for ball 2, so Campus ahead 2-0.
Campus has an average of 234 with 107 at-bats, 16 runs scored, 25 hits, 2 doubles, 22 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases.
8 steals for a catcher, that is a lot. There's many that don't get that in their 10, 15-year career as he fouls off the next pitch for strike 1. And, Jason, you and I kind of talked about this a while back because the most steals ever by a catcher in the MLB in history was Jason Kendall, a longtime Pirate.
I totally had forgotten about him and that fact that he was known for stealing bases despite being a catcher. And predominantly you don't see catchers stealing too many bases. I guessed it was Yogi Berra, and he might have had 20 all career.
Next pitch hit the heart of the plate, though it was dropped by Aguila, so the count goes even at 2s with 2 outs. And there was another one that was decent at it until he got older, Pudge Rodriguez.
Yeah, Pudge is definitely a quality player. Ooh, a 5-tool catcher, because he could really field well behind the plate, but also just hit really well as well. And he could throw people out. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame, right?
Oh, he deserves it. There's a lot of catchers that deserve it. But we got the triple deuces on the board. We got the 2-2 count with 2 outs, and Campus looking to keep this inning alive. If he gets on base, Jordan King is up next. Fouled off into the press box.
Nice.
And it got caught off a deflection. It hit off the hand of one fan.
No, it hit his hand, and then he caught it again. He stopped it with his hand and then caught it.
No, from what I saw, one guy had it. It hit off his hand, and it went to another guy.
Nope, he caught it.
That's what I saw.
That was a double. What do you say, Jess?
I think it was just the guy caught it.
Yep. You're overruled, Norm.
I saw what I saw. Even so, it's not a coach's challenge. It's not professional level.
It was a nice catch.
It's not going to hit Sports
All
Center
the
top
same.
10. So we had the 2-2 count, 2 outs again, and Campus hits this one foul, and nobody's going to catch that as it goes over the top of the bleachers to keep the count at double deuces.
I'll credit any fan who can make an attempt to make the catch, let alone actually reel it in. Like I said, I usually move the other way when a ball comes my
Bare
way.
hand, one hand.
I'm bare-handing it. Duck all you want.
Save me, Norm. Save me.
Duck and cover. 2-2 pitch again. Fouled off again off the netting of the grandstands, and we're still at a 2-2 count with 2 outs.
This is a good duel shaping up here with Johnny Campus and Alex Hale.
If only they had those Willy Wonka suits and the swords like that party, because when we were doing the Dumb and Dumber earlier. Ting, 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 ting. Another 2-2 pitch on the way, and he's caught looking strike 3. And from Campus's reaction, he wanted that one back. But that's the end of 2, and Jamestown still behind 4-1.
Yep, 4-1 the score. We'll have inning 3 in just a moment here at Dietrich Park, right here on WRFA.
He does look like Sparky Anderson. And the Tigers. And we're just about to start the top of the third inning as it's going to be Bacon, Schroeder, and Reinhardt as this next one is popped up and way up into the sky and goes right into the glove of Tucker for the first out. So again, one pitch and one out, and that Bacon's been undercooked in that at-bat, and now it's going to be Schroeder.
Yeah, you missed a golden opportunity to use some more Bacon references, Norm, but I have a feeling we'll be seeing him again. So don't worry too much about that.
I'm not too worried about it.
Plenty of time to chew the fat on Bacon. That was a rainmaker, by the way, and we don't want to say that word too much because we might see some showers here. But we have reached 8 o'clock, and so far, no drop.
And Schroeder's next one he sees is hit foul for strike one. And
I'll remind our listeners, by the way, you're listening to WRFALP 107.9 FM in Jamestown, New York. Go ahead, Norm.
Schroeder, he's been making Perry work in his at-bat and change so far. Next pitch on the way by Perry, and that is low for ball one. Count goes even. Triple sticks on the board with it being one out.
Are you looking at the weather?
No, I was checking to see if there was any possible score updates from point streak, but the next pitch was swung on and missed for strike two. So 1-2 count, one out, and Jamestown right now, they've kind of inspired by Jackson 5. 1 run, 2 hits, and 3 errors. Those ABCs, not quite the 1-2-3 though you want. As the 1-2 on the way by Perry, and inside corner, caught looking. Second time Schroeder has struck out via the backwards K, and his little piano just got broken by Lucy.
That's one way to say it, Norm. 2 outs quickly here. No runners on. We'll see if Jamestown can keep the Muckdogs from adding to their 3-run lead. If you're just joining us, we are in the top of the third inning now. The score is 4-1. Jamestown trailing the Muckdogs. Muckdogs with 3 runs in the first and 1 in the second.
And this one's going to be a chopper by Reinhardt, fielded by Tucker, and Jamestown with their first 1-2-3 inning of the game. So first time they put a 0 on Batavia's run column, and it was much needed.
Yes, indeed. And with that being said, we'll thank another sponsor here. Jess, you ready? Take it away.
Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Stabilization Grant. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is a private, nonprofit corporation created by Congress in the Public Broadcasting Act of 1967. It is the steward of the federal government's investment in public broadcasting and the largest single source of funding for public radio, television, and online-related mobile services. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting works to ensure universal access to non-commercial, high-quality content and telecommunications services. It does so by distributing more than 70% of its funding to more than 1,500 locally owned public radio and television stations. For more information, visit cpb.org.
Jess, as always, thank you very much. As we're about to start the bottom of inning number 3, it will be the 8 through 10 hitters, King, Davis, and Johnson up. And even though it's only the bottom of the third, Jamestown, they need their bats to come alive sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you don't want this one to get away from you. You want to keep it close, hopefully tie it up, if not take the lead here sooner rather than later, because obviously the Mo is always a factor, the momentum that
Big
is.
Mo.
And right now, Batavia has had Mo all season long. It's time to share some of that with Jamestown. I did pop my head out of the press box here and looked over to the west and the southwest, which is where the potential rain system could be coming in, but it actually looks pretty nice out there. I'm not going to say clear. You don't see blue skies, but you don't see that dark and leaden sky that indicates there could be a storm coming. So let's hope this weather holds here, and any cell that we saw earlier in the day that could pass over around this hour somehow circumvents Dietrich Park.
So Jordan King, the right fielder, is up to bat, and before Thompson left, King, he's been one of the Gold Glove triplets along with Thompson and Campus. Again, he's more known for his glove than his bat.
Yeah, I love watching him play right field.
Next pitch by Hale, and that's high and outside for ball one.
Go ahead, Jess, I'm sorry.
King has an average of .253 with 83 at-bats, 13 runs scored, 21 hits, 4 doubles, 11 RBIs, 18 base on balls, and 12 steals.
1-0 pitch on the way by Hale, and that's inside to go 2-0.
Talking about King out there in right field. A lot of people talk about shortstop, catcher even, second base being, third base being the toughest position to play in baseball, but I know right field isn't the toughest, but it's kind of tough out there.
Oh, yeah, as the
And-
next pitch is fouled off.
And the reason being is you don't see a lot of action. Obviously, a lot of right-handed hitters will take it to center or left. And when it does come off a right-handed bat, it kind of curves the wrong way. It's hard to get a beat on it. So you kind of always got to be on your toes out there in right field, and you never rarely see a lot of action. So it's just a lot of anticipation and not a whole lot of action out there, and that can kind of get to you.
Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that's inside, ball 3.
But King makes it look easy. Long story short, that's what I'm
He
getting
does.
at. He seems to always find a way to get to the ball no matter where it's going to drop in right field. I love watching him out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of ball players that won't go to Cooperstown, but they did finish their career with 3, 4, 5 gold gloves. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that's inside for ball 4, and he will take the free pass, and now it's going to be Jack Davis, the first baseman.
That's the what is it? It's the third consecutive inning Jamestown's
Yep.
leadoff hitter has gotten on base. It's always a promising start. Of course, last inning we saw the leadoff runner get picked off at second on an attempted steal, but always promising. And I like to see the Skunks making a go at it here with runners on for every inning now that they've appeared. The first leadoff runner. King's just got to be careful over there. Don't get too much of a lead.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first base on balls.
His first walk, eh?
Yes.
So Hale getting the sign from Aguila. Here's the next pitch. And Davis gives this one a ride to left center. And it has a chance, and it's going to get caught, though. Long out number 1. Fielded there perfectly by Gavin Schrader. And wow.
Yeah, I tell you, if it was just another foot deeper, I don't think he would have gotten to it. You know, the sport being a game of inches here, and the Gavin Schrader out there had to run for his life to get to it in time and just snagged it out of the air before it landed. Like I said, if it was just a foot deeper,
Yeah.
it would have dropped on the warning track. Almost a home run, Norm. I could hear the excitement in your voice, and I was getting excited as well watching it carry. But just the air's a little too heavy here,
Yep.
and it dropped before it got over the fence.
Sometimes the ball's just dust in the wind.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Next pitch on the way by Hale, and Johnson takes a hack and misses for strike 1. And he's playing second base tonight. Again, Nate Johnson, one of the 2 students at JCC.
No, I'm not sure. The umpire coming out having a word with the pitcher, probably just giving him a new ball maybe. I'm not sure. Sometimes they'll do that. I don't know if he's buying him time or what. Now he's clearing off the plate. Oh, whatever.
Another pickoff on King, and he stutter stepped for a moment, almost fell on his knees, and luckily he was able to reclaim his balance and get back to first.
Johnson up to bat has an average of 194 with 62 at-bats, 15 runs scored, 12 hits, 8 RBIs, and 8 stolen bases.
Hale's next pitch on the way, and Johnson hits his one. Oh, it's caught by Dotson, but the throw to first is not going to be in time. So call that a line out to second, and with that, we're back to the top of the order with Henry Martinez.
Yeah, I think Martinez got a base hit and scored the only run for the Tarp Skunks
Yes,
here.
he did.
His first at bat to start the bottom of the first inning. Here we are now in the bottom of the third inning. He's back for his second appearance at the plate. We'll see if he can't get another base hit here and try to advance King all the way to third. Obviously, with 2 outs here, you know King's going to go on contact.
Yeah, there's no possibility for a 9-3 or 8-3 double play, so Martinez, he did get a single to start off the bottom of the first. This was a high pop-up. Everybody duck. It's going to hit off the top of the press box.
Now, if our broadcast partner Max was here, or Colin, who sometimes covers for me, I would be out there and would have made that catch because that's right where I camp out when I'm hanging out here upstairs and don't want to get in your way in the press box. I hang out on the roof, and that's exactly where it dropped. Maybe next year.
Who knows? Maybe ever.
Maybe ever.
Dun, dun, dun. Another pickoff on King, but he gets back in safely. Honestly, Hale shouldn't really worry about King. He's got 2 outs, and King doesn't have a big lead off of the bag, but here comes the next pitch. And it's going to be chop foul for a strike 1. Or I beg your pardon, make that 0-2. So ever since King's leadoff walk, Davis gave a ball good ride to left field, but got caught there by Schrader. And then Johnson, he lined out right into the glove of Ken Dotson. So Hale's 1 strike away from another shutout inning. 1 run on 2 hits, 3 errors for Jamestown. Here comes the next pitch. King's going. Here's the throw by Aguila, and he's in safely. Taking off on 2 strikes with 2 outs, and the pitch was inside for a ball.
So a runner in scoring position, that's good. A base hit should be able to drive him in here, and we already saw Martinez with 1 base hit today. So let's see if he can't work his magic again and hopefully bite into this 3-run lead that Batavia has over Jamestown. 4-1 the score here in the bottom of the 3rd if you're just joining us.
Yeah, in Jamestown, they've done a lot better holding Batavia to a small amount of runs. Last couple of games, one of them they only allowed 2 runs, though it was a loss, and then they had another one where they allowed 2, but that was the only time they beat Batavia. That was the 3-2 victory.
Yeah, 3-2 on the road, and they were on the road and they lost 2-1 the previous time they played, and then they also were going to play Batavia on Sunday, July 17th, but that game was postponed. I thought today's game would be a doubleheader as a result of that postponement because they're back in town. Hey, why not play 2? You know, the weather actually was nice earlier on, but all the same, they opted just to have 1 game instead of a doubleheader, and I think it was because of the fear of rain postponing 2 games rather than just 1. They opted just to do 1 game, but I really felt Jamestown should have been able to play Batavia twice today.
Well, here's the 2-2 pitch. And that one goes in the dirt, and it hits off Aguila's mask and right to Hale. So the count goes full. If Martinez gets walked, Tucker is due up next. And those last 2 road games before today's, for any listeners that are not sure of the results, against Newark, they lost 11-10 in 10 innings. And then against Niagara yesterday, they lost 8-3.
Yeah, that Newark game was a tough beat because I know Jamestown was leading for a spell.
They were up 10-7.
It was back and forth, and eventually Newark pulled out.
Payoff pitch, and Martinez swings and misses. 4 strike 3, and 3 innings old now the game is. The score still 4-1.
Yeah, Jamestown leaves a runner stranded. We'll see what happens in inning number 4 in just a moment right here on WRFA.
Yeah, I did find out from their play-by-play guy. It was Schrader. Except for they both played short of Schrader.
And for all of the news on the season wrap-up of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, check out the Post Journal.
And we're about to momentarily start the top of the 4th inning here with Jamestown trailing Batavia still 4-1, and the Skunks, they need to get it together on both ends of the spectrum, defense and offense. Again, if Jamestown loses tonight, they are eliminated from postseason contention for the first time since they joined the PGCBL.
Well, I think they had it together at least, Norm, last inning with a 1-2-3 inning. They just got to keep that up, but you're right. Jamestown fans and the ball club here used to postseason play ever since the professional team left back in 2014, was it? 2015, 16, 17, and 18 when they were still the Angry Grapes of Jamestown, the Jamestown Jammers.
Indeed.
They went into the postseason, and the Skunks last year in their inaugural season were in the postseason. There's a strike on the first pitch by Perry, and this 4th inning is now underway.
In the batters due up are Torres, Dodson, and Rodriguez. So Torres is up Torres is up right now. Here's the next pitch by Perry. And that's outside ball one. Count goes even. So let's see if Torres will look like Adam Banks a little bit here against Perry. We could always say Banks against Goldberg, 99 and 33. But here's the next pitch by Perry, and it's fouled off. Strike two. And that was a loud bang right there. But it looked like nobody got hurt, so that's what matters.
No, but there was a player for the Muckdogs standing near the dugout that was talking with his coach and not watching the batter, and the foul almost struck him. It came within a foot or two from hitting him, so thankfully he wasn't.
1-2 pitch again, and that one, look out, going into the bleachers, and somebody dropped their popcorn, it looked like. Count stays 1-2.
Yeah, that was another hardliner over there. The number 99 here has got a lot of velocity, exit velocity on that ball. You better bring your mitt and a helmet if you're standing in the stands out there.
1-2 again, and that one skips in the dirt. Count goes even at twos, but with no runners on base, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, Alex Torres wearing 99, Norman, until Judge came on the scene. I can't think of any ball players that wore 99. You're an encyclopedia, so you probably know exactly.
Mitch Williams.
Mitch Williams. There you go, 99.
Yep, he didn't wear it when he was a Cub, but he did when he gave up the home run to Joe Carter in the World Series.
You're not going to bring up the Mitch Williams getting a save without ever throwing a pitch story again, are you?
Well, I already told you that, so.
Well, I just brought it up anyway, so I saved you the trouble, Norm. That is a good piece of baseball knowledge there, as that other pitch also, I believe, went foul. 2-2 the count?
It went near the direction of the ball boy and one of the honorary coaches, but here's the full counter, and that also skips in the dirt. Unless that pitch was the full count and the board was wrong. So it's going to be a full count.
Every once in a while I recognize an honorary coach, but...
Next pitch on the way by Perry. Caught looking, strike three.
Nice job. I think all of his strikeouts have been by way of the backwards K, right?
Yes, they have. And in his last start of his 7 strikeouts, the only one that was not a backwards K was his last one.
Yeah, he must have a funky breaking ball there that totally fools the batters, because rarely do you see a pitcher who strikes out people looking, unless you're Greg Maddux, more so than swinging.
Speaking of Greg Maddux, number 31, Ken Dodson is up as the next pitch is on the outside corner for strike one.
Dodson has an average of 189 with 37 at-bats, 6 runs scored, 7 hits, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 0 stolen bases.
As he hits one right to Martinez, and he could have just drove his little lawnmower like Bobby Boucher, put his glove up in the air, and make the catch. That's how easy it looked.
Yeah, can of corn. He was positioned right in the, I think he only had to take 2 steps left and 1 step forward, and it was right to him.
So far now, Perry, he's retired the last 6 batters he's faced, so if he can stop number 7, Caleb Rodriguez, it'll be number 7. Next pitch on the way for Perry, and that one skips to the loo in the dirt, ball 1.
Wonder if we can get Coach Bazil, or, obviously we hope that he returns next season, whoever the manager is, to give us a field mic, and we can attach it onto an outfielder and have a conversation. I see it on ESPN happen once in a while. Yeah, the old hot mic.
Next pitch on the way hits the outside corner for a strike.
Although I don't think players would want to be talked to and interviewed in the middle of a ball game. Professionals.
Well, here's the 1-1 on the way.
I think they would have a good time with it.
And that's going to be fouled off for strike 2.
You think so, Jay? Yeah, I guess.
Tuck it in the jersey. Not like Jose Altuve in the base stealing scandal, but.
Right.
I think they would think it's cool.
Maybe we'll see if we can't do that. Get a Bluetooth out there or something.
Yeah, hear little one-liners, eat bits, or stuff that are similar to my normisms.
Yeah. This is a radio broadcast, and we don't have a delay, so we
pitch
have
on
to
the
be
way
careful.
is In the dirt, evens the count at 2s with triple deuces.
Not that I know that there's any foul language by a baseball player out there, but it's just something that we would have to be mindful of.
All I know is George Carlin warned everybody. We got the 2-2 count with 2 outs, and Perry looking for another shutout inning. Here's the next pitch. And again, in the dirt, count goes full, and if Rodriguez gets walked, Leadham is back up to bat as we hit the top of the order. He did single and score a run in the second inning. That was the only run they were able to produce in it. So we're about to see a payoff pitch from Perry. Here's the payoff. Caught looking, strike 3. So how about 2 strikeouts in the inning, his 4th one of the game, and another shutout inning. Score still 4-1.
Commodore Perry looking hot. We'll pass it off to Jess for another thank you to our sponsors. Take it away.
Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is brought to you in part by Reg Linnae Center for the Arts. Reg Linnae Center for the Arts, located in the heart of downtown Jamestown at 116 East 3rd Street, is the broadcast license holder for WRFA LP. More than just a theater, the Reg offers comprehensive programming that inspires, educates, and empowers the community. Reg Linnae also offers rentals of its facilities to the public, providing spaces for small groups or hundreds of attendees. Rental arrangements can be made for parties, receptions, meetings, retreats, and live concerts and performances. The popular Movies at the Reg series is also available twice a week, offering a safe and comfortable environment for patrons to watch a wide variety of films, with food and beverages also available. For more information, visit reglinnae.com or call 716-664-2465.
Thank you, Jess. Here we are about 20 minutes past 8 o'clock, and so far nary a raindrop to be felt or seen. Let's hope it stays that way. Again, we did have a rain delay earlier in the game, which is why we didn't start until 7 o'clock, letting the field dry out. The rain came a little bit earlier. I would say around between 5:30 and 6 o'clock is when the heaviest amount came. But it dried out, and so far we're smooth sailing, and let's hope it stays that way. The sky is dark up to the north, but right over here directly above the ballpark, I even see a tint of blue in between all the clouds, so that's somewhat promising.
At least the sky's not a hazy shade of winter, Jason, as Tucker is up to bat.
Don't talk about winter, Norm. We get enough of it up here in western New York.
I'm not a fan of it either.
6 months. Oh, I love it, but I also enjoy the summer. Let's worry about winter when it comes.
But you got to admit, though, it's a great Simon and Garfunkel track. As the next pitch by Hale, and Tucker gives this one a ride into a gap, but chased down in perfect timing by Josh Leadham. So 1 pitch, 1 out, and now it's going to be Cody Bay.
Cody Bay, what is that?
Flew out the center.
Flew out the center there. His first at bat. Thank you, Norm. We'll see what he can do here this second time around. I can't read your shorthand here. And
well, sometimes I connect the F and the 8 together.
That happens. Yeah, Jess has shown me her scorebook. It's a lot cleaner than yours, Norm. Nice job, Jess. Thank you.
Look at hers then.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
But
I probably should just keep my own scorebook, if I really wanted to know what's happening and pay attention to those things.
So Bay looking for his first hit of the night. 1 out, bottom of the 4th. Jamestown still in this 4-1 hole. Here's Hale's next pitch. And that is low, ball 1. So Hale looking for another shutout inning in the work as Bay chops this one over the 3rd. Reinhardt gets it cleanly. Throw over to first to Corso in plenty of time, so 5-3 ground out. And now it's going to be Pat Bigham.
Bigham grounded out in his first at-bat. So he's 0 for 1 on the day. And that was right after I complimented him for doing a good job batting so far this season. So I'm just going to keep my yap shut this at-bat.
All I know is it was almost like Bob Costas talking about Brock Osweiler when he was still in Denver playing the Patriots. Says he's improving and he throws an interception. But Hale's got a chance for a 1-2-3 inning for the second time in the last 3. Next pitch is up and away for a ball. Count goes 1-0.
One of my first bosses used to tell me he'll never compliment me because he doesn't want to jinx me. So just because I don't compliment you doesn't mean I don't think you're doing a good job, Sample, but I'll never let you know. And I kind of carry that philosophy with me, Norm, as you can tell working with me the past 2 years.
Well, here's the 1-0 pitch, and Bigham pops this up, and it's going to be a Bermuda Triangle for it, but Aguila makes the catch, nearly bumped into Hale, but they were able to stay on their feet, and a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 4th, and still a 3-run hole for Jamestown.
Yep, so quick 4th inning there. We'll see what happens with inning number 5 in just a moment. More baseball to come on WRFA.
we're about to start the top of the 5th inning here in just a minute. But first, it's the end of the night for Travis Perry. May have possibly hit his inning limit for the season. But right now, it's going to be Evan Harrison, who is from Gannon University. And he did also play for Jamestown last year. But I believe with his team getting deep in the playoffs respectively, which was why he was probably a late addition.
Yeah, very limited action so far for Harrison this season. Just 2 game appearances so far, 3.2 innings pitched coming out of the bullpen, giving up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned, 2 strikeouts, and 1 save. And no walks so far, and just 3 2/3 innings pitched. Yeah, it's got to be the pitch count for Perry out of Youngstown State. Obviously, don't want to work his arm out too much, but he really was coming on, Norm, especially in the 3rd and 4th inning. Great job there by Perry, and might be the last time he sees action this season with just 2 more games on the schedule after today.
Yeah, and we're back to the top of the lineup. It'll be Leadham, Corso, and Canoe. As Leadham, again, first pitch he sees, gets a crack of it, but he fouls it back for strike 1. And Leadham so far, he's 1 for 2. He has singled and scored a run, and he's also grounded out 5-3. Next pitch on the way. Leadham hits a screamer and almost got caught by a fan there in the bleachers for strike 2.
Yeah, that careened off the bleachers all the way to the foul territory wall, all the way back there in our right field. A nice whack, but not the right direction.
And another foul ball, and it deflects off the bleachers and rolls to a couple of fans, and the count stays 0-2.
I tell you got to bring some body armor over there. Just bring in your whole catcher equipment, mask, helmet, mitt, and everything, because these balls are traveling quickly over there.
Yeah, you don't want to wake up from getting hit and go, 2 cheeseburgers, 2 fries, and a chocolate shake.
0-2 the count here.
Next pitch by Harrison, and it's high and outside for a 1-2 count. So far, 4 runs on 3 hits for Batavia, and the big factor for them, because it proved costly for Jamestown, no errors. Next pitch by Harrison, and that's low. And the bases umpire declaring that Leadham did not go around the check swing. From my view, he clearly did not. So count's going to go even at 2s.
Good eye there by the umpire. Good call. And we'll do it again here. 2-2 the count.
Next pitch on the way. It's going to be a chopper to third, and it's going to be called foul. Must have hit off of Leadham's foot.
Yeah, it was right down the fair territory line. Never went out of bounds, so it must have hit off his foot prior to traveling very straight afterward. Rarely do you see that. Usually when it careens off somebody's foot, it'll end up going into the foul territory.
So count still 2-2 with nobody out, and with Jamestown switching pitchers, there's no activity going on right now in Batavia's bullpen, and with Hale pitching so well, why do it? As the next pitch is chopped foul and almost fielded there by Korn, but that one bounces beyond Lake Titicaca on the almighty Cornholio.
Yeah, Batavia, I believe, is about a game up on the Utica Blue Sox
1.5.
And so
next one is going to go on. King can't get there, and Liam's going to head over to second. Let's see if he tries to go for 3. Arms pumping. He's going to try for a triple. Throw caught by Tucker. Here's a throw to Bay, and it's wild. But luckily, it's going to stay in play, because if it would have went out, Leadham would have gotten a free base.
Yeah, we were complimenting King and his ability out there in right field, and the vast majority of time he does great, but it just tried a little too hard coming in. Should have let the ball drop and play it in front of him, but he thought he could have made the catch. You got to give him at least some applause for the effort there and trying to run up and get to it before it landed.
Gold star.
But that'll happen sometimes. If you don't get there in time, it'll go right past you, and a single ends up turning into a triple.
And for Corso, with nobody out, even a long ball that gets caught in the outfield can drive home Leadham. He's got the speed. He's got 28 steals, so he does lead the team in that department. Next pitch, it's the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, and Corso was hit by a pitch in the first inning and hit by a pitch in the second inning, both of which were by the pitcher Perry, who started the game. Let's see what happens here.
0-1 pitch on the way. That one's in the dirt, and Campus able to block it, so the count goes even at ones.
That pitch by Harrison was a bit on the inside as well.
Harrison taking a check on Leadham at third. Here's the next pitch. And this one's going to go in the shallow center, and it's going to drop for a base hit. So back-to-back hits by Batavia. Alliteration lesson for today as they extend their lead back to 4 runs, 5-1, 1-5. And now it'll be Tyler Canoe, the DH.
Canoe got a single in the first inning and reached base on an error in the second inning. And he scored the third run in the first inning. Score is now 5-1 here in the top of the fifth inning. Tarp Skunks trailing the Batavia Muckdogs.
Corso, he doesn't have a big lead off the bag as the next pitch by Harrison hits the outside corner for strike one.
Yeah, that was just a straight-up fastball released by Harrison there, right down Broadway, a little bit on the edge of the plate, but enough for a strike. Here comes the second delivery.
Yeah, we don't need the playbill, Jason, as Canoe hits this one, and this looks like it's going to drop in nearly the same spot. And heading over to third is going to be Corso. So 3 consecutive singles to start off the top of the fifth here for Batavia. And now it's going to be Levi Aguila, the catcher.
Yeah, Aguila is 0 for 2 on the day. We'll see if he can't drive in a runner at third with no outs, also a runner at first. And Jamestown in danger of letting this one get away from them, already down by 4 runs. And so far you've got runners on the corners and no outs. Both of them have a chance of getting across the plate unless Jamestown can stop the bleeding.
Next pitch by Harrison, it's outside for ball one. And so far the first 4 batters now that Harrison's faced, the out total right now, it's a Brooklyn Bagel Factory. We got a big fat 0. Aguila looking for his first hit of the game and got one of the most unique batting forms I have seen throughout the season as the next pitch is popped up and going into the shallow outfield. Johnson under it. He does make the catch. So immediately keeping his eye on Corso. So that's going to be a pop out to second base and a big out number 1 as now it will be Trey Bacon, the center fielder.
Bacon reached base on an error in the first inning and flew out in the third inning.
Yep, so Bacon looking to drive in Colonel Jessup for a 5-run lead as the next pitch is fouled off for strike 1. I think I broke Jason, so I'm sorry about that for the moment, but runners are at the corners with 1 out.
A few good men references are on point, but I don't think Bacon really ever cross-examined Colonel Jessup, Norm.
Well, it's the principle that matters. This one is in territory for King to make the catch. He's got it. Tagging up is going to be Corso. Here's a throw to the campus, but it's not in time. So in spite of that fly out to foul territory, Bacon does get the job done. He does drive home Kyle Corso from third. So credit Bacon with an RBI. And now it's going to be Gavin Schrader, the left fielder.
Yeah, the sac fly drives in a run, and now it's a 5-run ball game. The Muckdogs in the lead. Harrison here just trying to get out of this one.
Yep, Schrader's been caught looking both times he's been at the plate.
Travis Perry was our starting pitcher. He put in 4 innings. 4 runs were scored, a couple of them by way of error. Here's a hit.
Yeah, it's over to Johnson. He'll throw it over to Davis, and he was able to maintain the ball. There have been a few bad throws over to Davis, but this time he's able to get a clean hold of it. But Batavia adds 2 runs to their lead.
All right, let's thank another one of our sponsors, Jess, if you can, and we'll be back in the bottom of the 5th inning in just a moment.
Support for WRFA is brought to you in part by the Whirlybird Music and Arts Festival. Whirlybird Music and Arts Festival returns to the streets and venues of downtown Jamestown on August 10th through the 13th for 4 days of free concerts and local art. Whirlybird 2022 features the return of Jamestown funk legends Smack Dab for a free all-ages show at Winter Garden Plaza on Saturday, August 13th. Other performers for the weekend include Litz, Michaela Davis, Working Man's Dead, The Audience, The Porcelain Bus Drivers, Cold Lazarus, Emily Strong, Feverhawk, and many more. A complete lineup of performers and ticket information is available at whirlybirdfest.com. Whirlybird also provides live updates and information on Instagram and Facebook. Whirlybird Music and Arts Festival happening August 10th through August 13th in downtown Jamestown. For more information, visit whirlybirdfest.com.
Thank you, Jess. Looking forward to some live music filling downtown Jamestown the second weekend of August. Next weekend is the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival in Jamestown, and obviously an annual attraction. And we mentioned earlier in the game that Carl Reiner was honored, the legendary film director, but his son, Rob, was in town to cut the ribbon on the new exhibit at the National Comedy Center. And as we speak, they're on the stage at Chautauqua Institution doing a commemoration and a memory of the great Carl Reiner. But Rob Reiner, a legend in his own right. First thing you think of, Norm, when you think of Rob Reiner?
Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, mine would be Meathead on All in the Family, and then This is Spinal Tap.
I know that movie.
But obviously, When Harry Met Sally, the old rom-com, and The Princess Bride. I mean, this guy has a list of legendary films he's directed, and he was great in that sitcom, being a perfect foil to Archie Bunker's conservative mannerisms. Meathead, the fired-up, angry liberal, a great television show, one of the all-time greats.
I used to watch it all the time. Those were the days.
How nice is it that Rob Reiner was here in Jamestown to honor his father?
And a lot of people don't know the woman that says, I'll have what she's having, that's his mother.
Yeah.
It's Carl Reiner's wife.
And the famous scene in When Harry Met Sally. Anyway, back to you, Norm.
Yes, it is. And now it's going to be batters up 5 through 7. Lane, Zarowski, and Campus Lane tried going for the cheddar on the Trisket, but he'll be lucky if he gets a cheese whiz for strike one. So Hale, coincidentally a Batavia native, next pitch on the way. This one's popped up. And again, this one's not going to go in orbit on NASA with Sally Ride, but it gets caught in the air by Corso for the first out.
Yeah, quickly one away here for Jamestown in the bottom of the 5th inning. And we're back to the 6th batter in the lineup, number 6, Trey Zarowski, who struck out his first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. We'll see if he can't get on here with 1 out and nobody on.
Next pitch on the way by Hale, and Zarowski hits this one to shallow center. And will it drop? Oh, what a catch in center field by Bacon! Letting out the stir of echoes down there in center field. Dove for the ball, made the catch. It looked like that was going to drop.
Yeah, I thought he wouldn't get there in time, but boy, he hopped on his bicycle, Quicksilver style, and made the out, Norm. What a great catch by the Batavia Muckdogs center fielder. I guess that's why he's camped out there in the middle spot.
And speaking of camping out, Johnny Campus, Captain Johnny is up to bat, and Captain Johnny looking to keep the skunk spirits high tonight. But in his first at-bat, he got caught looking. Next pitch on the way by Hale. Campus hits this one a ton, but it's going to go way foul and beyond the Skunks bullpen.
Yeah, actually it dropped over the fence in foul territory off of right field. Probably drove that one a good 320 feet or so, but again, in foul territory. A moonshot, if you will, but not one that will count. We'll see if he can't straighten it out here.
Getting the sign is Hale, and here's the next pitch. That's outside, ball 1. One count. Next pitch on the way, and Campus will chop this one. Reinhardt's going to field it on the dribble. Here's a throw to first, and just in the nick of time. So it's going to be another 1-2-3 inning, third one in the last 4 for the Batavia Muckdogs, and the score still 6-1.
Muckdogs looking like the team to beat in the West Division, showing why they're in first place. We'll have inning number 6 in just a moment right here on WRFA.
All right, guys, this is Leader of the Stack, and here are no pressure, by the way. One at a time.
And we're about to start the top of the 6th inning with the score still 6-1 in favor of Batavia. And Jamestown, even though it's not a timed sport, they are running out of outs and chances to salvage this season. Harrison getting another inning of work, and it'll be the 7 through 9 hitters, Reinhardt, Torres, and Dotson.
Yeah, 5 innings. They've allowed Batavia to score runs in 3 of those 5 innings, including 3 runs in the first inning, 1 run in the second, and in the previous inning we just had in the 5th inning, 2 runs. Jamestown, meanwhile, has been unable to muster anyone and get anybody across the plate other than in the very first inning, which is where they got their lone run of the ball game. So 6-1 the score here in the top of the 6th inning. And as Norm noted, we have just 4 innings remaining in this ball game. And we said at the start of the game, Jamestown needs to win every game outright if they want to have any hope of getting into the postseason. So it's important for them to try to come back from this and make a go at it. Otherwise, they'll still have 2 more games to play, but any chance of the postseason will pretty much be out the window.
So last warm-up pitch has been thrown, and it's going to be Reinhardt up to bat. He got on in an error, and he grounded out in his 2 at-bats, so 0 for 2. Yeah, Batavia resuming where they have been on Jamestown throughout the entire regular season. You got to tip your hat to the Muckdogs, because more often than not, they have just been taxidermying Skunks as the first pitch hit the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, they definitely have the Skunks numbers in this season, that's for sure. That's how rivalries develop, though.
Very true. Next pitch on the way. Reinhardt swings and misses at it for strike 2. He wanted to go for that giant largemouth bass, but he'll be lucky if he gets a fisherman boot.
Even a sunfish.
Or a minnow. But 0-2 count. Next pitch by Harrison. And this one is going to go, and Johnson able to get a dive on it. Here's a throw, and it's not going to be in time, and it bounces badly. But luckily, able to recover there is Campus, so Johnson would have been better off holding onto that ball.
Yeah, you know, there's got to be a point when you realize that you're not going to get the runner no matter how fast you fire the ball and how accurate that throw might be. Sometimes you just got to eat it. And that comes obviously with experience. But you get frustrated. You're down by 5 runs. You want to get some magic happening and capture some of that momentum we were talking about earlier. Unfortunately, it didn't happen here. I was mentioning earlier, we got an ejection.
Oh, we got it's Bazil.
No, it's not Bazil. It was a player.
I thought it was Bazil. The way he was coming out, I thought that was him.
Somebody got tossed.
I won't be shocked if he does too, because he's getting livid. And with the way the season's been going lately, you get your money's worth. And it looks like a player in the dugout.
A player in the bullpen landing up there.
But this is getting out of hand, and we can hear the audio. We can hear this conversation from up here. Bazil is livid. The fans aren't happy. And it's mainly a Pew crew you may be hearing. But I wonder what the ejection was all about.
Yeah, I'm not
From the reaction, it looks like it may have been Korn. Because he did give a gesture and go like, huh?
And now he's drawing some kind of a line around there. I'm not exactly sure who's getting ejected or not.
I think it might be Korn. I think it had to do with going beyond like a certain part in the dugout.
I mean, this isn't Major League Baseball.
No,
this
it's
isn't the NFL. I mean, if the players
This is college
wander,
prospect league baseball.
yeah, and if he's going to be that harsh about him, leaving a certain area along the players area along the sideline here, the cameras can't pick it up from what I understand. But basically, you have a series of pitchers that sit outside the dugout in a string of lines. And now this umpire who called the 2 balks earlier in the game, he is a stickler. I have no idea even what this is all about. Even Coach Powell, who is the most calm, relaxed coach on there, Coach Bazil is furious.
Yeah, and you know
rightfully
what?
so.
It's ludicrous. All because you're going over a little bit of space? That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but just because of that, this is college prospect league baseball. Come on. It's like, give them a break. This is ridiculous.
I have no idea why he would want to even enforce that rule even if it was being violated. Why wouldn't you give a warning? Why wouldn't you go over and just have a brief talk with him?
Maybe he's got a dinner reservation. I'm not sure.
I hate to speculate because I don't know the umpire, but he's got to have some bone to pick with the Tarp Skunks because that's he's been very ticky-tacky with the balks, and now he's throwing out a player for sitting outside of the players area.
Yeah, and I'm wondering though if Hale had a few instances where he was close to a balk, but from what I'm seeing, those calls have been pretty one-sided. And even in spite of that, though, Jamestown has had opportunities to cut this deficit down. It's been a long and tumultuous ride here throughout the season for the Skunks. They are in danger of being eliminated from postseason contention, and the tension is going to run high, but
all season long the players have sat over there.
And honestly, for Coach Jackson, I think it's him because he's going out. He was the one that was drawing that line. Honestly, if that's what they want, they should just have a line painted over there so that way you don't cross it.
There was a player who I saw exit from this part of the
Did you
stadium.
catch the number by chance?
I didn't because they had the gray suit on, but
okay, that's
they were telling the umpire to do their job, and they were walking away, and they weren't happy. I couldn't catch who it was though.
All I know is if you want to eject someone, look at the player. Don't do it when they're not looking.
Wow, I'm confused. Maybe we can get some clarification here in later on in the ball game, or see if we can't sort things out. But somebody was ejected, not anybody who's playing currently.
Right. But it is Torres that's up to bat. The next pitch was outside for a ball, so the count is 1-0. And
I saw Coach Bazil get livid, and I thought for sure he might get ejected.
I thought it was him at first because the way he was coming out, I thought that was him getting mad. He did get ejected the last time these two teams play each other, but this is a possible double play ball. 5, 4, they'll just settle for the out. 1 out's better than possibly a bad throw. And with Johnson there, he was the one that had that wild throw to Davis. Sometimes it's better just to hold on to the ball and settle for 1.
Right. Yeah, getting back to that ejection, I think the umpire realized he may have been a little excessive because Coach Bazil lit into him, was livid, and he took it. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes umpires have little patience for somebody showing them up like that and will eject them. But he let Coach Bazil lay into him, and all I can imagine is that maybe he realizes he was in the wrong, but it was too late to back out with that ejection.
Yeah.
Well, next pitch is outside for a ball, and there's still another roughly 4 3/4 innings still of quote-unquote regulation baseball, but could this possibly be a fire starter for Jamestown? We'll just have to wait and see in the next innings. As Dodson pops this one into the shallow outfield, King under it, and he will make the catch for an easy out number 2.
2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. And we are down to the final batter in the Batavia lineup. That would be Rodriguez, the shortstop, number 7, who got a base hit his first plate appearance and struck out looking in the 4th inning by Travis Perry. And so this is his 3rd plate appearance, 1 for 2 on the night so far, and now he lines up against Evan Harrison.
Next pitch on the way by Harrison, and it's outside for ball 1. So Rodriguez looking for his 2nd hit of the game, and for a very rare time now, Batavia's got more hits than they have runs. For most of the game, it's been the opposite, as the next pitch was fouled off to even the count.
Yeah, well, the 3 errors will help out in
yes,
that
sure.
type of situation. 3 errors by Jamestown hasn't helped their cause at all. trailing by 5 runs here in the top of the 6th inning, but trying to stop the bleeding here a little bit. Nothing given up so far this inning, and they hope they can finish it that way.
And this one's another shallow one into the outfield. And King calling for the ball, telling Johnson to back away, and he'll make the catch. So Jamestown's able to get a scoreless inning, so that should atone for that impromptu ejection. But that concludes 5.5.
Yes, it does, and we'll thank another one of our sponsors, and we'll let Jess take it away.
Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks in 2022 is brought to you in part by the Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, celebrating over 50 years of serving the community's automotive needs with an excellent customer buying and ownership experience. At Schultz Auto Group, all repair facilities have experienced and factory-trained technicians with state-of-the-art equipment for every automotive need, no matter what engine type, gas, diesel, or electric. The next generation of auto care is already at Schultz Auto Group. Schultz Auto Group, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunk Community Baseball on your community radio station, WRFA LP. For more information, call 1-866-931-2998 or visit schultzauto.com.
Jess, as always, thank you very much as we're about to start the bottom of the 6th inning with the score still 6-1. The batters due up for your Skunks, the 8 through 10, King, Davis, and Johnson. And Jason will be back in just a little bit, the executive producer plus my color guy and partner in crime for tonight, as he's going to get down to the bottom what went on and what caused the impromptu ejection during the top of the 6th inning. And Jamestown, they're running out of chances. They're down to their last 12 outs. Again, for any listeners and viewers of the stream or the broadcast that don't know, if Jamestown loses, postseason hopes are going to be done. The well's going to be glued shut.
They've got to have more than just 2 hits going into this 6th inning here and not having 3 up, 3 down, because it's not helping them very much. It's
happened to him 3 times in the last 4 innings, and the most batters faced by Hale in 1 inning has been 4. And that's happened twice. That was in the 1st and 3rd innings. 2, 4, and 5 have been 1, 2, 3. So they got to get on a run, and bottom of the 6th inning would be perfect timing as the sky's starting to get a little pinkish a little bit, a little mix of the cotton candy color or one of the best kinds of Trix yogurt. Just make sure the bunny isn't there to steal it. Here comes Hale's next pitch on the way, and King will let that one go. It's outside and high for ball 1.
Jordan King at his last at-bat had a base on balls and got left on base.
So 1-0 count. Hale getting the sign. Next pitch on the way. King swings and misses for strike 1.
He wanted that one.
He wanted that solo tater, but he's going to have to settle for the holy, holy, holy Swiss cheese. So counts even at 1s. King looking to get on base to start this inning. And he's going to call time. And throughout the season, he's been the one get him his throne, get him a crown, and get him a scepter, because out of the 2 Kings we have in Richard King and Jordan King has gotten it done in the outfield throughout the season. Didn't get a lot of time in right field to start it, but as time went on and his glove got strong, he's been in the lineup for the bulk of the season ever since, I would say, approximately the end of June, as the next pitch was upstairs and outside for ball 2.
He's a part of your Golden Glove trio.
Oh, yeah, the Gold Glove triplets. King, Thompson, and Campus. Unfortunately, Thompson, he had to go home. The doubleheader from Niagara here last week was his last 2 games of the season, but here's the 2-1 on the way. That's inside for ball 3. He did get walked in his first at-bat, and he also stole a base. So if he can get on to start it off, they should be in decent hands, because Jack Davis, he hit a long fly ball to left in his last at-bat, but it got caught by Gavin Schrader.
Just like Jason said, if that ball would have been a foot longer, then it would have been at least a double.
And that one swung on and missed, and the count's going to go full, so we're going to see a payoff pitch. And this park, from what I've been told by several colleagues who do work for other teams in this league, this is the hardest ballpark to hit a home run in, but I do see Jason is back. So, Jason, my partner in crime, what is the scoop?
We'll wait until
Turn on my microphone. We'll wait until this plays out here.
As King hits this one into the gap in left center, this should be extra bases. It hits off the WRFA sign. King going for second, and it's going to be a leadoff double. And the throw was a little errant going into an open patch of grass in the infield, but it does get recovered by Corso. And now we got Jack Davis due up, the first baseman.
Boy, if I had it in my budget, I would give some kind of a prize for any batter who hits the WRFA sign, but we just don't have it in there. While they take a break to talk things over on the mound here, here's what we got. Bryce Jackson was ejected.
Wow, Bryce Jackson!
I thought it was him.
Wow.
And the reason why is he was standing outside of the dugout in front of the fence of the dugout, and the not the home plate umpire, but the field ump had warned him and asked him to step around the fence, and he did that, and then a little bit later on he was standing outside the fence, and the umpire told him again to move behind the fence, and I think he was a little bit disrespectful in terms of adhering to the umpire's
So I assume he must
suggestion.
have mouthed them off or said
Well,
no.
he was
or-
probably miffed about the 2 balks earlier on because that was the field umpire who called the 2 balks, and I'm not sure, but exactly what was happening. But all the same, he was given an order by the umpire to relocate himself outside of an area that wasn't designated for players.
Right.
He didn't abide by that order in time, and so the umpire effectively ejected him from the ball game. And that's a story I got
Okay.
from one of the skunk players that I was talking to as he was making his way into the dugout. So
the good thing, though, about that is at least he did get a warning. It wasn't
right
out of haste, but he was warned twice, and if you refuse to do that, you are susceptible to an ejection.
Right.
And I've seen some weird ejections in games I've either watched or broadcasted. There was even one when Adrian Beltre was a Ranger. He was told to get in the batting circle, so he moved the Ranger circle and put it on there. He got tossed on the spot.
I don't think Bryce would have been able to pitch tonight anyway, so
Right.
maybe he was aware of that, and that's the reason why he
didn't care.
Opted to show his disappointment with the umpire in a nonverbal way.
Well, there is activity going on in Batavia's bullpen right now as the next pitch by Hale is fouled off for strike 1. And it looks like it's number 13.
Anthony Sullivan.
Okay, so that is number 13 for Batavia. So Anthony Sullivan, who's more known for doing OxyClean than for the pitching.
I thought that was Billy Mays.
Well, Anthony Sullivan took over after Billy Mays passed away. You never seen those? Hi, Anthony Sullivan here with new OxyClean products.
That was a swing and a miss for strike number 2.
So Davis, he's in an 0-2 hole, and again, his last at-bat, he hit a long fly ball to left, but it went right in the glove of Gavin Schrader. And once more, I've been told this is the hardest ballpark to hit a home run out of. We've only seen 2 all year. Here's the 0-2 on the way by Hale, and that's in the dirt for a ball. And during their road series in their road games, another skunk did hit a home run, and it was Will Durrell. He hit one at Batavia out of Dwyer Stadium. And the only other guy to hit one out of there all year was Nick Searcy from Geneva.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so that's another tough park to hit one out.
Yeah, I got wind of that from their play-by-play announcer for their home games. And always good to add stuff like that to talk to during the broadcast filler as he swings and misses. And that's going to be a strikeout for Hale. So keeping the hailstorm going on as Johnson is now up to bat.
Yeah, Norm, I like to give you a hard time once in a while, but we've got a great broadcast team here. Of course, you leading the way, but I'm really impressed with the other teams that bring broadcasters here as well. They're always polite, friendly, helpful, and we got a good rapport with everybody that comes to our press. But obviously not as good as our team in terms of broadcasting. But I'm biased. But all the same, they still are a very friendly group of guys.
Oh, yeah, and I even talked to one of them was actually Dylan. That's the guy who's doing the game right now for Batavia. And I said to him personally, even though we're doing it for different teams, we're doing the same job, so we got to make each other look good.
Yeah, help each other out. I even gave him a slice of pizza.
I know that. As the first pitch was out of the strike zone for a ball. Next pitch on the way by Hale. Johnson swings and misses for strike 1, so that's a rarity. Usually he lets the first 2-3 pitches pass him by.
Well, getting back to the ball game here, I know that our conversations wander once in a while, but this is the crucial point for the Skunks. They got a runner in scoring position with just 1 out. They're down by 5 runs. They got to do something here. This is a good opportunity for them. Let's see what happens with this next pitch.
Well, here's the 1-1 on the way. Johnson fouls it off and goes into the Muckdog bullpen for strike 2. And I got to say, though, another one of the best things throughout the season is whenever we get to meet the parents of some of the ball players.
Oh, yeah.
Get to interact with them. And
really, really great to meet them, have them come up here, and they really appreciate the fact that we broadcast the games as well as present them on video, thanks to Ed Tomasini. All volunteer, by the way. He's a volunteer for the Skunks, not WRFA, and we just happen to he uses our air feed to help show the video for all of you viewers out there on YouTube. Thank Ed Tomasini and the Skunks for making it possible.
King's taking off. It's going to go right to Hale, and he'll just granny flip it over to Corso for the second out. King does advance 90 feet, and we're back to the top of the order with Henry Martinez.
So Jamestown has the chance to put something in here, and Martinez has shown that he can do it. He's 1 for 2. He got a base hit in the first inning, and he struck out in the third inning. However, he has got a good solid average. He's the leadoff hitter, obviously. All he's got to do is put the ball in play and make it to first with his speed, and we could be able to see another run crossing the plate here for Jamestown and cutting into that 5-run lead. If you're just joining us, you're listening to WRFA-LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown. The score is 6-1 here in the bottom of the sixth inning.
And here's Hale's next pitch, and that's low for ball one.
We do have some action out there in the bullpen for Batavia as well. I'm not sure if you caught that when I stepped away for a moment, but
we already did.
Okay.
You were actually up here. It was just a few minutes ago. Anthony Sullivan.
Oh, all right.
Looks like there's going to be someone warming up in a moment for Jamestown as well, but he's just taking off his warm-up jacket, so once we find out what the number is, we'll let you know that, as the next pitch was up and away for ball two. So 2-0 count, 2 outs. Score 6-1 in favor of Batavia. And it looks like it's Ryan Rafalski from my vantage point. He was actually just named the pitcher of the week in the PGCBL.
I saw that.
Yeah, he threw a complete game shutout in game 2 of the doubleheader versus Niagara. It was a 2-hitter as the next pitch hits the inside corner for strike 1. Yeah, from my view, though, from here, it looks like it's number 4, and that is Ryan Rafalski. And he's come alive very well in the bullpen, whether that or starting in his last several appearances.
From Warren County, Pennsylvania, just to the south of Jamestown and Chautauqua County.
And he plays for Mercyhurst. Next pitch on the way, and I thought that was going to be called strike 2 for a moment. It looked like it hit the heart of the plate, but it's called low and inside for ball 3. Count goes 3-1, and should Martinez get walked, Tucker is up next.
Well, he's got the hitter's count here with a 3-1. Swing away if he wants to.
It's the green light. 3-1 on the way. That hits the inside corner, and the count goes full. So from what we're seeing from Jess, it's number 15, Richard King.
Who's warming up, not Rafalski?
I believe so.
Okay, I just got a better look. It is a darker skin-toned guy, so that is Richard King. Sometimes the ornithology binoculars are a work of wonders. But we're about to have a payoff pitch here, and here's the delivery. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and it was a foul tip. It got caught by Aguila, so it's still 6-1 after 6 in Jamestown. They're running out of time.
Yeah, we'll have inning number 7 in just a moment right here on WRFA.
And we're about to start the top of the 7th inning as Harrison's about to get inning number 3 of work in here, and the score still 6-1 in favor of Batavia. The batters due up. It'll be the top of the order. It's going to be Leadham, Corso, and Canoe.
Well, Norm, we're here past 9 o'clock now at Dietrich Park, and not a raindrop since the opening pitch. We did have a little bit of drizzle during the warm-ups, and of course they had the tarp out earlier in the day because of basically a steady downpour coming out for a good 10 to 15 minute stretch. But right now it's been smooth sailing, and I'm not sure if that storm cell kind of dodged us or if it's still on the way or not. all the same, we're in luck. We've got 6 innings in the books here. That is enough for a game, unfortunately, for Jamestown. If we all of a sudden say a deluge arrive here, they would be on the losing side of things. But the game was able to get off without a hitch, except for that half-an-hour delay start.
And here's Harrison's next pitch, and that one's upstairs for ball 1. And lead him. He's had a good night, 2 for 3.
Yeah, he does it right now. Jamestown's got to shut him down and shut out every batter they see afterward. 5 runs in the 7th inning deficit. You don't want to add to that.
Well, this one's popped up in playable territory, and Bay under it, and he does make the catch. So he takes a shake of the tree in the Bay, and he gets out a guava for the first out.
Right on, and now we have the next batter stepping up. That'd be Kyle Corso. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st and 2nd inning and got a base hit in the 5th. He's reached base every single time. I would say reached base safely, but I don't know how safe it is when you get plunked the way he did, especially that first time around. All the same, here he is at the plate.
Next pitch by Harrison that hits the outside corner for strike 1. So far, 6 runs on 7 hits and no errors for the Muckdogs. Next pitch, it'll be a chopper to third. Bobbled for a minute by Bay, but he will get it over to first in time. So a slight juggle, but a nice recovery.
Very nice recovery there. And I know that we are 2 outs now and have a solid hitter and Tyler Canoe stepping up here. But I did know that we're sending our wishes out to clubhouse manager, all-around great guy, Scotty James.
Oh, yeah.
I believe is recovering from an injury right now, so I'm mentioning it now because he does the 7th inning stretch every game here in the middle of the 7th. Here's the pitch.
And Canoe's going to hit this one. Is it going to drop? It will. Base hit. Lands into no man's land between the Bermuda Triangle, and for Canoe, that's going to be his 3rd hit of the game, all singles.
Yeah, Canoe's pretty sharp out there with the bat, that's for sure. Getting back to Scotty James, wishing him the best of luck. He won't be here tonight to lead the 7-inning stretch sing-along, but he's here in spirit and, of course, in the hearts and minds of all of the fans and especially the teammates. So a few of them said when asked in our Meet the Players segments we do on the radio what their favorite thing is about Jamestown, a couple of them said Scotty James. He makes the season special. He's just a great guy, and we wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully he's watching or listening, and we're pulling for you, Scotty.
Yep, and from seeing some of his posts as Aguila gives this one a good ride to left, but it's going to go right into the glove of Brandon Lane for the 3rd out. So we've hit that 7th inning stretch. Score still 6-1 in favor of Batavia.
And we'll thank another one of our sponsors here. I got this one, Jess. You continue doing your scoring there. Support for WRFA's coverage of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball for the 2022 season is brought to you in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency. The Chautauqua County IDA is an economic development organization authorized and empowered by New York State to make Chautauqua County a better place to work, live, and visit. The IDA facilitates development by attracting new businesses, while also promoting the retention and expansion of existing businesses. And it offers businesses assistance in the forms of tax abatements, low-interest loans, and bond financing, all of which enhances the opportunities for job creation and retention of our businesses. The Chautauqua County IDA, a proud supporter of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on WRFA. For more information, call 661-8900 or visit ccida.com.
And with that, Jason, it's going to be Anthony Sullivan on the mound now for Batavia, but this time it's Mike Ferguson along with a few Skunks players. Campus was in there as well as Bay for a little bit, but it's not the same as Scotty, and Scotty does a great job not keeping the mic too close to his face.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the players will tell you Scotty also not only the morale booster, the 7th inning stretch guy, but he also
team spirit
helps out with the laundry and all that.
He does.
So, I mean, he's just a super guy, and
unfortunately
he couldn't be here for the home closer, but I know we'll see him next season.
Oh, for sure.
For the Tarp Skunks.
And he did actually tell me, though, when I saw him outside of a game one night, that the one thing he doesn't really like is that he hates cleaning those white jerseys, because sometimes when it gets the dirt all over them, white, when it stains, sticks out like a sore thumb. But once again, it's Anthony Sullivan on the hill now for Batavia, and I know there is a stat line regarding Sullivan, and so far this season, this will be his 9th game. He's only pitched 10 2/3 innings, 19 hits, 9 runs, 8 of which are earned, 5 walks to 13 strikeouts. He's 1-1. His ERA is platform 6 3/4, 6.75.
Well, that's promising for Jamestown then, because they need to get about 6 runs here to take the lead. 6-1 the score here in the bottom of the 7th. They've got 9 outs remaining to bite into that Muck Dog lead, and they also need to prevent the Dogs from scoring anything more. But so far they've shut them out for 2 consecutive innings. Hopefully they can do it for 2 more. But in the meantime, they need a rally, and they need it to happen sooner than later. Let's see what they can do to get things started here. Who's our 3 batters that are going to be coming up?
Tucker, Bay, and Bigham. And Jamestown's down to their last 9 outs, so this is the pressure cooker. They need to lift up Pepe Le Pew's tail and let it spray and fly. That's what they need to do right here. Tucker, he's 0 for 2. He's looking for his first hit of the night.
Well, let's see what happens here. Is it rally time or not? We'll find out in just a moment here with this first pitch from the new pitcher on the mound for the Muckdogs.
So Tucker, this time, though, he's going to bat on the right side. Again, he's a switch hitter, but he usually bats left. This time he's right. So Sullivan, he's getting the sign from Aguila. And here comes his first pitch of the night. Outside corner, strike 1. And from looking at his motion, he's kind of got a semi-sidearm type of a delivery. Almost a little similar to Alex Wood from San Fran. A little bit of a sidearm before delivering the pitch. The count's 0-1. So Sullivan ahead in the count. Here comes the next pitch. Tucker hits a chopper over to short. Feel it cleanly, throw to first, and despite a hop, it does get recovered by Corso. So that's going to be a 6-3 putout, and now it's going to be Cody Bay.
Yeah, nice job by Corso there, getting the glove down and getting the scoop off of that hop there, unfortunately for Jamestown. We'll see what Cody Bay can do right now. He flew out in the first inning and grounded out in the 4th, so he's 0 for 2. He can turn things around right now with a solid knock to try to get things going for Jamestown. Again, down by 5 runs.
Yes, sadly, we've seen this way more often than not than we have compared to recent seasons, as the next pitch is right down the pipe for strike 1. Sullivan doesn't even need the Drano. Bay looking for his first base hit of the game. However, he has driven in the only run Jamestown has scored, and that was all the way back in the bottom of the 1st. That looks like a distant memory as he swings and misses one in the dirt for strike 2.
Now he's got to defend the plate with this 0-2 count.
Sullivan shook off a couple of signs, but he got the one he wants. Here's the next pitch, and that skips to his Lou in the dirt, ball 1.
Sullivan, the lefty here, has a bit of an, I guess, not want to say too unorthodox, but a bit of a hitch in the way he throws here, at least on that last pitch. I'm not sure if it was just because it might have been a changeup or what have you, but it seems like he has a little bit of a jerk motion in his throw, or maybe it was just my eyes deceiving me.
It's a semi-sidearm kind of a throw. His next pitch was outside for a ball.
But you see there's a bit of hesitation right in his back before he whips it forward. Oftentimes you'll see a smooth delivery from the start to finish, but he does have almost a freeze and then a whipping action to bring the ball forward.
Maybe it's a deception trick, or...
And we've seen that in the major. I forgot who the pitcher is, but...
Next pitch on the way. That one swung on and missed for strike 3, so first strikeout for Sullivan. And now it's going to be Pat Bigham, the extra hitter. And Jamestown, they're going to be in danger of being 1-2-3'd for the 4th time in the last 5 innings faced. The most batters faced by Batavia's pitching in 1 inning has just been 4 batters. Again, hats off to them. They have just done absolutely outstanding tonight.
Yeah, the Jamestown Bats just haven't been able to do much this evening. Unfortunately, we still have 8 outs remaining. Or 7 outs remaining, my apologies.
Well, the next pitch hit the heart of the plate for strike 1, and Bigham, he's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and has popped out. Next pitch on the way by Sullivan, and Bigham's going to hit a chopper. Goes right to Rodriguez. Double step, throw to Corso in time. So another 1-2-3 inning Jamestown's the victim of, and the score's still 6-1 as we'll momentarily hit the 8th.
Yeah, all right, we'll take a break and see you on the other side. More baseball to come right here on WRFA.
Of course. It's been a lot of fun.
Great job. So, yeah, another big night, attendance-wise. Actually, the weather turned out great. Talking to you, too? Well, I'd rather have you talk to Jackson. You can talk to me.
We're in a commercial break right now. And welcome back to Dietrich Park. Jason Sample and Norm Rodriguez here. We will be bringing you the game here with the next batter coming up, but we also have a guest joining us in the press box throughout this inning, or at least the top of the inning. We have the Game Day Operations Director, Jackson Fowler, joining us. We've talked with Jackson a few times this season. We'll be talking with him in just a minute, or a moment, I should say, shortly after this first delivery.
Well, here comes the next pitch, and Bacon's going to hit this one over to Bay. Throw over to first in plenty of time, so he's not going to be able to take Delta Tau Kai out of Animal House to Mystic River, along with his pet dog, Balto.
I knew you were waiting for that one, but we'll have to talk more about that later on. Jackson, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys?
Doing well. Thank you so much for helping to put together what's been, a great season in spite of the record of the Skunks and the possibility that looks like they won't be in the postseason. All the same, though, what a fun summer in the past 2 months it's been, and it really goes to you and your staff for making it such an enjoyable experience.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I can't take all the credit. My assistant operations manager, Christian Doles, and my press box coordinator, Matt Rhodes, along with all of our staff and interns, have really made it a great time. And you guys also have made it a great time, I know, for the viewers listening at home.
Right on. We'll talk here in a moment. Here's the next pitch.
And that's going to hit the outside corner for strike one. And it's a pinch hitter that's in for Batavia. It is number 1, and that is Dallas Young. He's from Romulus, Michigan, a 5'11 righty from Clayton University. As the next pitch is on the outside corner for strike 2. And again, I got to say, Jackson, it's in spite of the Skunks not possibly going to the playoffs, it's been another fun season regardless. As long as we get to do what we enjoy, that's what matters at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone who comes to the game has had a really fun time.
So as Young strikes out, and we're going to see if there's going to be another pinch hitter, but it looks like it's not. It's going to still be Reinhardt, and it is.
So, Jackson, I know that obviously this is the final home game. Jamestown has 2 more road games to go. But what do the Tarp Skunks do, or what's the focus now as we get ready for the off season? And I know we're going to see the Tarp Skunks again in 2023. What do you and the staff do to try to prepare for a season that's going to be, relatively speaking, still nearly a year away?
So I think what we do right now is that we look at our numbers from this past year. We averaged 30 more fans average.
Wow.
880 fans per game this year.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, tonight attendance was 1245, so.
I believe that.
Yeah. No, we just really look at what went right and what went wrong, and, yeah, mostly what went right.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be high for a ball. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of the attendance was due to the support you get from sponsors. Obviously, it costs money to put on a quality product like this, but you also have sponsors that went above and beyond, not only to sponsor game day activities, but also a few fan events and fan free admission events, and that seemed like it went over great.
Oh, yeah, buyouts went really well. I think that a combination of that, our fireworks, and our out of game day promotions that we did, like our Wegmans meet and greet went really well. And I think, we've got a great group of fans here, especially for a second year around. We've grew a great fan base here in Jamestown.
I'm sorry, Jason. I will have to admit, though, when the first year the Skunks came out because of with COVID in 2019, as this will possibly be the third out, I was not sure how attendance was going to be because the last couple of years of the Jammers, it wasn't very great. But between year one and now, I'm blown away.
Oh, absolutely. I actually, when I was an intern here, I looked at the numbers for the Jammers, and, I saw, their attendance was dwindling near the end, and we were just wondering what could we do better, and that's when my boss really helped, and then we all came up with some really good promotions and sponsors.
Boss being Jacob Kinberg, correct?
Correct, yeah. Jake has been really well.
Right. So I guess, my question is if there's one thing that you could do to even improve upon for next season, or something you would tweak or do differently, is there anything you would add or change or possibly do to enhance and I ask you this because there's a team in South Carolina, I think it is, that does some really wacky, zany things just about every ball game. I forget what the name of that team is.
Savannah Bananas?
The Savannah Bananas. Will we see anything
yeah.
like Savannah Bananas happen for one game or even one inning here in Jamestown?
I don't know if we're going to be playing any banana ball. That seems a little whack for our fans. But I think we could probably get some good on-field stuff that they do really well that we could look at. They do a lot of fun stuff. There was something interesting that I saw looking back called Ballpark Bingo, which basically corresponds to the game, gets more fans into the game, and I believe it was the old Expos, the Jamestown Expos. They did that, so I've been thinking about that. I think more buyouts, maybe some more firework games also that draw fans into the stands.
I just want to mention I follow the Tarp Skunks on Instagram and TikTok, and I really enjoy watching the interviews with the guys and the little questions that you ask them walking into the locker room. I think that it's really good. You get to know the players off the field, and I really enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've grown really big on social media recently, and it's just great to see.
Right on.
Yeah.
So we got the Jammers. You got me thinking of the Jammers here. We've got the Skunks now ready. Hold on one second, Jackson. We'll close things up here after this first pitch here to kick off the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Batavia went 1-2-3 in the top half, and the first pitch to Lane was outside for a ball. It's Lane, Zarowski, and Campus that are due up.
Yeah, the social media experience has really kicked it up a couple of notches, so congratulations with that as well. And just, congratulations again. We really appreciate having the opportunity to have interns like Jess here to learn how to broadcast. There's a deep drive into center field, but it will be caught for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. Obviously, it's a great learning experience for our crew, our interns, and obviously Norm loves baseball, so we give him a chance to do what he loves to do. I enjoy coming out watching more than being on the radio, but I don't mind doing that as well. So thank you for the experience of giving WRFA the opportunity to have a program that ties in with the Skunks. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I want to thank the fans also, because this wouldn't be possible without them.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank everyone. Go Skunks.
Next game will be the first week of June 2023, right?
Correct, yes.
All right. Jackson Fowler, thank you so much. Great season this year in spite of the Skunks coming up a little short for the playoffs. I know they'll be back next year for sure. So great job.
Thank you.
They'll be back and they'll be better.
Great job, Jackson Fowler. Thank you so much for joining us again. Game Day Operations Director for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks helping us out here today. Here's another hit deep into or shallow right field for the second quick out here. And, despite, Norm, this being a game that's not favoring the Skunks, it's going quickly in spite of the rain delay as well. It's not sloppy baseball. We did have 3 errors to start things off. That didn't help Jamestown out. But, it's really moving pretty quickly, and it's some good quality baseball we're seeing.
Yeah, it has. And honestly, I'm still blown away at all the fans that are here in spite of, as Campus, he's getting an ovation. This is going to be his last game here at Dietrich. He's about to age out. And, again, he's getting a standing ovation from the fans, and it's much earned. He's been the team captain ever since he set foot here at Dietrich Park, playing behind the dish, and 2 phenomenal years. And if he chooses to stay in baseball, and whether he just goes in minors or if he does get a shot in the actual show, I have no doubt Captain Johnny is going to be a great success in whatever he wants to do in his life.
On or off the field, indeed.
Next pitch is fouled off over the top of the press box for strike one. So this is his final at-bat as a Skunk. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out looking. He's grounded out 5-3. I think the best thing for him would be to finish it off with a nice single at the minimum. Just something to keep your hat high on and walk out with a hit. Next pitch on the way, and Campus hits this one foul down the third base line for strike two. And Jamestown, they're down to their last 4 outs. 2 outs here, 0-2 count in the bottom of the 8th. Score still 6-1 in favor of Batavia. Sullivan getting the sign. Here comes the 0-2, and he swings and misses for strike 3, but it's a drop third strike, so a 2-3 putout, and that's going to be another 1-2-3 inning for Jamestown, and that's 8 innings, and we'll have the 9th soon, Jason. 6-1 still score.
Yeah, we'll take a break here at WRFA. The 9th and final inning coming up in a moment right here on your community radio station, WRFA LP.
And we're about to start what will likely be the final inning here of Skunks baseball for 2022 here at Dietrich Park, right here on WRFA. The score still 6-1 in favor of Batavia. Evan Harrison's going to get another inning of work, and besides the 2 runs he gave up in the 5th, besides that, 3 shutout innings.
Yeah, 3 shutout innings. We'll see if he can't make it one more here and keep Batavia from getting any final runs across the plate. 6 runs so far this game, but the last time they scored was in the top of the 5th inning. So it's up to the Skunks and Harrison to have a lockdown here. And a nice gesture there by the coach for Batavia, giving Johnny Campus a handshake and congratulating him for a couple of nice seasons here at the Dietrich Ballpark, and of course playing for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. You like to see that kind of sportsmanship, and it's a good example for the players when they see their coach going out there and exhibiting that kind of sportsmanship to the opposing team.
And with that, it's going to be Torres, Dodson, and Rodriguez up the bat for the Muckdogs. Here's Harrison's next pitch, and that is on the outside corner for strike 1.
Reminder that this is the final home game, but Jamestown is on the road at Newark tomorrow and then Elmira to close out the season on Friday.
So even though they're going to be out of the playoff race, and with that pitch being outside for a ball, for the count, even the count at once, they could still finish their year winning their last 2 games and finish it on a positive note and build confidence going into next season.
Yeah, finish over 500 as well.
This will be a chopper over to Bay, fielded cleanly. It did stay in fair territory. Here's a throw to first in time. So Bay with another light reel play and stay out of the way, as now it's going to be Dodson, the second baseman.
Yeah, Jamestown, if only they were playing this sharply earlier on in the game, it could have been a totally different ball game. We talked about momentum a couple of times tonight, and that's exactly what Batavia was able to capture, getting 3 runs at the start of the game in the top of the 1st inning and never looking back, picking up 3 more runs in the 2nd and 5th inning, 1 and 2 runs respectively. And that's where we get the 6-1 score. Jamestown has only pushed 1 run across the plate. That was in the 1st inning. They still have 3 outs to go here, so this game is not over by any means, but it is getting close to being over.
Yeah, first pitch by Harrison was outside for a ball. This last one hit the inside corner for strike 1, so the count's even at 1s. And with 1 out, we got the triple sticks on the board once again. And here's the next pitch by Harrison. That skips in the dirt, 2-1.
Nice to see a lot of people in the stands here, too. The game is pretty much under control by Batavia. I think we all, in spite of what we would want to see, know the likely outcome here. A lot of fans could have went home and got ready for work tomorrow or ready for another day, but they're out here because they know this is the final home game.
As Dodson hits a screamer in the left, Lane chasing it down, and it's going to hit off the wall. And Dodson going to try and extend this to a double, and he'll get there safely. And again, throughout the season, Batavia has not lost Jamestown's number, and they haven't needed to call nobody else.
No, not at all. They definitely know how to make contact with the ball, and I got to credit the Batavia Muckdogs and, of course, their coach, Tom Eaton, who really has helped this team out. I mean, I can't remember how they finished last year, but I don't think they finished nearly as good as they did this year, and this is his second year with Batavia, so he obviously has the team moving in the right direction. And I mentioned earlier, this is how rivalries develop. When it's so one-sided one season, the team that's on the losing side of things doesn't forget, and they come back with a vengeance the following season, and that builds, a good, healthy rivalry. So while Batavia has had Jamestown's number this season, I think if nothing else, Jamestown will remember this. Coach Bazil will remember it next year, and any players that return will as well.
So both pitches to Rodriguez in this at-bat hit the outside corner, so it's going to be an 0-2 count.
Kind of like the old Brooklyn Dodgers, New York Yankees, right? When the Yankees dominated the Dodgers for so many years. And obviously we're always the winning team in New York City. But one year, the Dodgers had the Yankees number, and that made it a special crosstown rivalry.
And this one is hit into the shallow outfield. King under it, and he will make the catch. And Dodson's going to try and go for third. Here's a throw to Bay, and he's got him. So how about that? A 9-3 double play, or 9-5 double play, excuse me. So that concludes the top of the ninth. Last chance for Jamestown, down by 5 runs.
And we will thank one more sponsor here for the 2022 season. And support for the Tarp Skunks on WRFA is brought to you by businesses and listeners just like you. WRFA is a non-commercial, non-profit community radio station that relies on contributions and donations from the listening community to keep our programs on the air. If you appreciate and enjoy this broadcast or any other program available on WRFA, consider making a donation of any amount by clicking the donate button at our website, WRFALP.com. It's fast and easy. Checks of any amount can also be made out to WRFA Radio and mailed to the radio station at 116 East 3rd Street, Jamestown, New York, 14701. Local businesses are also encouraged to sponsor programming on WRFA. To learn more about becoming an underwriter for WRFA, including next season, the 2023 Jamestown Tarp Skunks season, call us tomorrow if you want. 716-664-2465, extension 209, or email WRFA@RegLene.com. Well, Norm, it's been a pleasure here as we approach the final leg of this 2022 journey. Coming up short, but all the same, it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, it has.
Mostly because you've had it locked down, and I don't really have to do too much work at these games other than make sure the train doesn't go off the track, and it really hasn't too much. Thanks
with the exception of the plug from the router for the live stream that one game, but besides that,
so the one game I wasn't able to make it because we had a fundraiser across town, but other than that, everything went hunky-dory. And thanks so much, Max and Jess. Thank you, Jess, for the work you did this season. Hopefully you learned a little bit, and if you didn't learn anything, at least you had some fun hanging out up here and getting a taste for what baseball broadcasting is all about.
Yeah, for sure. I did have a great time, and I did learn some things, and I'm just glad I got this opportunity.
Right on. And good luck in your studies at Alfred University, where you'll be going in the fall. And 2 more years to go, right?
Yes, possibly 3, but 2 for sure.
Right on. Well, great job this season. We really appreciate all the help that you gave us with your player interviews, as well as keeping the listeners updated with statistics, and even jumping in with a broadcast every now and then and helping out with some color commentary. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
And with that, what will likely be the last half inning of this season for Jamestown here at Dietrich, Jordan, it's going to be King, Davis, and Johnson up to bat. Here's the next pitch by Sullivan. and it hits the outside corner for strike one. And all I got to say is this season went by in a hurry.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that's
wow.
for sure. Didn't quite get 24 games in.
Well, next pitch is outside for a ball.
But a close number of home games, that's for sure. All the games, by the way, can be found on YouTube, or if you want to listen to the radio broadcast, if you're out exercising or just want to relive the season, all the home games are also available at the WRFA SoundCloud page and at our website on the Tarp Skunks page.
I actually use the SoundCloud to listen to some of my old work. As the next pitch, it hits off the netting of the grandstands for strike two. Because I know personally, I got some football coming up in the next several weeks.
You got to start critical listening, they call it, when you listen and air check your own voice on the air to see what improvements you can make. Not too many you can do. Maybe a fewer Kevin Bacon references, Norm, other than that.
Well, that was because there was a guy with the last name of Bacon for this one game as the next pitch hit the dirt for 2-2 count. Again, I just stand by the saying, keep the audience interested.
Well, you definitely do that, so we appreciate it.
So counts even at deuces, 2-2 count, nobody out as King looking to get a little rally started and get Jamestown to end this on a high note. Next pitch on the way, and he's caught looking. Strike three, that was right at the heart of the plate. It was the right call as Davis will be up the bat. 2 outs remaining in this home season for Skunk Nation.
Well, we'll see if Davis can get out on a high note here. I don't think he's reached base yet today, has he? We've got 0 for 2, flew out in the third inning, struck out in the sixth.
Next pitch on the way, and this one is a high popper, and it makes an orbit in the lunar eclipse, and it goes right into the glove of Dodson for the penultimate out. And last gasp here for Jamestown, Nate Johnson is the batter, and we'll see what he can do, though, in this at bat. Again, last chance for the Skunks, and the way it's looking, it's going to be a definite that they are eliminated from postseason contention, and it's going to be for the first time since they joined the PGCBL, including when they were the Jammers. Sullivan's next pitch on the way. It's going to be a grounder to third, fielded there cleanly by Reinhardt. Throw to first, and it's in time, and that's going to conclude the home season here for your Jamestown Tarp Skunks. They are officially eliminated from postseason contention. Final score being 6-1 in favor of Batavia. And Jason, I gotta say this again, you, Jess, Max, and Colin, it's been absolutely a pleasure being back here this season, and I was happy that you wanted me to come back, and should everything pan out, I'd be more than happy to come back for another season.
Well, Norm, you are the voice of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks on WRFA, so as long as WRFA is doing Jamestown Tarp Skunk baseball, we'll be happy to have you back, obviously. My plan is to bring the radio station back next year. We'll see what the Tarp Skunks say, but it looks like we'll be continuing to do the broadcasting next year. But, really thank you to the listeners out there and, of course, our engineers at the studio, both Gavin Paternity as well as Anthony Merchant, who did a super job keeping us on the air, making sure that all the breaks were met, and really a flawless execution as far as flawless can go on their part. So the engineers back at the studio get a lot of credit as well as the broadcast team here. And thanks to Ed Tomasini, who's sitting here waiting in the doorway. He provided all the video. He actually set up the multiple video camera setup that the YouTube viewers have come to see. Ed Tomasini volunteering his time for the Skunks to make that possible. So thank you to Ed and his volunteer crew. A lot of high school students from Jamestown getting the taste of what it's like to do real-life broadcasting and videography in real time for a live event. That is not easy to pull off, but they made it look easy through the guidance of Ed. So really, in spite of not making the playoffs, I think it's a successful season.
I agree.
Broadcasting point of view, and even for the Tarp Skunks as well. I see that the Post-Journal's down there talking with Captain Johnny right now, probably just getting his thoughts about the conclusion of the home season here and what it means to have the fans show their appreciation, and many of them are now coming out to congratulate the Skunks on a fine home season here in spite of not being able to make it to the playoffs and postseason. Probably next year they will. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, they'll be back and they'll be better. But one thing I do want to ask before we shut this down for the season. So, Jess, do you have any final words before we conclude the season.
I want to thank you guys. This has been really fun, and I had a great time, and I learned a lot of things, and I think I got better on the mic than what I was when I came here, so that'll be really helpful for the future.
I can confirm that myself because you kind of chimed in a little bit when Jason went down to find out what the ejection was all about, but if you choose to do that, I got no doubt you and Max will be great successes in it. I saw the potential from day one. I know Jason did as
certainly.
well.
And then, obviously, as Jess and Max have indicated in our interns last year, it's an enjoyable experience. It's not that bad. So if you have a college student interested in broadcasting or just enjoys baseball and the sport, neither Jess or Max is a broadcast journalism major, and yet they made it sound like they were because they have the knack for it. So anybody out there who is thinking about possibly pursuing a career in broadcasting or know somebody who is, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll see if we can't get some more interns lined up for 2023. I just want to thank you again, Norm, as well as the listeners out there and the sponsors, both Schultz Auto Group as well as the County Industrial Development Agency and, of course, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Stabilization Fund, which has helped us out. That really made the season possible, but we'll do it again next year regardless of whether the sponsors come back or not. We'll find where there's a will, there's a way, and there's definitely a will here. With that being said, Norm, I'll hand it off to you for the closing remarks. Thanks again for a great season.
Jason, again, it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate that I was given the privilege to come back, and as well as next year as well. But for one final time, Skunks fans, that's going to conclude your home season of tonight's coverage, home-wise for Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball and WRFA. Once more, the final score, Jamestown with the short end of the stick, 6-1 over Batavia. Thank you to our studio engineers throughout the season, Gavin Paternity and Anthony Merchant, as well as our dynamic WRFA intern team, Jessica Beeler and Max Pinjator. For my broadcast partner, as well as executive producer Jason Sample, I'm Norm Rodriguez saying thank you for listening throughout the season of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball right here on WRFA. We will see you all in 2023.
Nice work, everybody. Thank you, Jess.